reminded everyone that Pluzak Fred is not able to make it tonight. So it's just us minus him, and we'll do the typical last time on Icewind Dale. I can of course go through it, but if anyone would be willing to give me what they recall of last time, um, it helps me kind of understand what you guys are thinking, where you're at. So,
No, what I remember from last time was that, well, obviously we made it to Auril's Island.
hmm
Um, Immediately upon arrival, we met the little ice method, whose name I forget.
Asshole.
Which,
That's all that
we'll
Riff
likely
Ice
we
Method.
remember
remember.
it because, he was a bit of a bitch. Um,
Oh god, it was something really weird.
It was
yeah,
Sopo, or Sapo.
yeah, the
Sapapo.
soapbox.
Yeah,
Sapapo.
Sapopovich.
Mama Lapasapa bitch.
Uh-oh.
Either way, we arrived. He was definitely, like, very evidently up to something, and wasn't really providing much useful information, I guess, off the bat. And since we knew he was up to something and we didn't trust him not to be under Oral's thumb, party, I guess, decided to kill him, despite there being a popular vote that was not exactly decisive.
Yeah, it was a very unclear vote.
Yeah.
So eventually, you guys
Um,
just, I think it was between Mallow and Kara, were like,
yeah,
it's dead
he
now.
got killed because he tried to leave.
Well, to be
Um,
fair, it was more he tried to leave after Mallow closed the distance and beat the fuck out of him.
yeah.
Said, sup, bitch?
he got
Um,
Love your
Mallowed,
shit.
you know, the usual.
yes. After that, we proceeded to explore the island counterclockwise, trying to go through every bit of it as far as we could tell. Anyways, we found statues of ice that were very lifelike, but we were made uh, sure that they weren't frozen people or animals or anything like that. They were actually just ice, but they had more than likely been made by Oral, so we decided to steer clear of them. Uh, After which we arrived at the northernmost docks, um, in which we found, well, near which we found these this ship, not these ships. Um, and inside, we found that most of the equipment is both worthless and unusable. Uh, but we did find at least some, blankets and stuff to keep us warm, as
Mhm.
well as a big treasure chest, which,
Yeah.
was
I would correct that point a little bit in that regard, where it was actually the inside was fine. The outside stuff was all completely destroyed by
yeah,
ice and frost,
yes,
but
yeah.
you guys actually found a very livable space inside, and yes, as you mentioned, a big chest. Yeah.
And then I think everyone just sort of retired to sleeping chambers, and that's where we
Yeah,
left last time.
everyone kind of took a room. Yeah, so I'll say it was fantastic. Pretty much nailed everything. The only thing that we kind of that was glossed over that I do think is good to bring up is you guys did spend 3 days together on Angajuk's back, during which there was conversation from quite among quite a few of you, like Kara and Mace discussed some interesting topics. You guys
Nature of
viewed
godhood.
Yeah, you guys viewed the undersea ruins of essentially, or not even always ruins. There were undersea castles and structures, and then you also saw ruins, right? So it was two separate things.
Right, yes.
And you guys kind of, gleaned what information you could from there. And if you remember, Pluzak actually told you guys about how he has a book that when he shares information with it, it can share information with him, and he was hoping to learn some more about some of that stuff, and um, mentioned like basically if he learned anything, he'd be happy to chat with you guys about it. There was some alchemy success and some meditation success as well during those 3 days, which you know that's just moving something along. Whether or not you guys involved it deeper, we'll see. And Kara also had a little thing occur with one of her tattoos. But besides all that, yeah, you pretty much, like I said, nailed it all. So it's just you guys find yourselves here in this ship now, still inside it. I would say that we come back pretty much at the point where you had all just separated to kind of find individual rooms, figure out where you wanted to bed for the night. I would tell you that while you are inside, it is still very, very cold. So perhaps trying to find some way to, warm the ship up, or wanting to start like fires in your own individual rooms is fine if you want to discuss it. And the night is still only at about. Let me go to my notes. Um, Somewhere between 9 and 10 p.m. And you guys basically were choosing to, start settling down for your long rest at that point. So in lieu of taking the long rest at the end of the last one and rushing things along so people could leave, we said let's take the long rest at the start of the next one so that if we want to, we can engage with, again, more alchemy or discussion or meditation, whatever it is that you guys might think is worthwhile.
Okay. Let's see.
Kara, you hear a knock on your door.
Come on in.
It just peeks open a little. Pluzak kind of pokes his head in and just... I think you mentioned a kitchen somewhere?
Yeah. She'll point towards the front of the hold on the left.
Okay.
It was about that way.
He gives you like a turtley thumbs up, closes your door gently, and you just kind of hear him shuffling away through the hallway.
Goes to get up, gets caught on her wing, and falls out of bed.
Could I try? Well, one of the meditations focused mainly on. I want to say it's the last bit of the not riddle, but like the
Yeah, the phrase. Yeah.
sentence, the phrase.
And Pluzak will go there.
Because I think, as far as I recall, it's only the last bit that's not been clarified to me exactly. I know that
I have...
overstepped was changed. Deal was changed to punishment. Rules have been determined was the last.
Yeah, so you have punishment and determined, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have two more, I think. But regardless, it's always good to try. We'll give ourselves a nice focal. And let me pull up your little buddy. I believe for the phrasing, it is... it was Arcana or Insight, I believe.
Yeah. Well, let me try Arcana this time around.
I think that's actually what worked pretty well for you last time, so probably a good choice.
Sure. I like.
Did I put myself...
Not
let me
bad.
fix that first. And see if he can help at all. Fantastic. Okay. So, I'm gonna probably shift you back a minute here.
Mm-hmm.
If your intention is to just start meditating at the beginning of the night, you don't intend to chat with anyone, then you will kind of be sitting on your bed, we'll say, back against the wall behind you, just in a nice cross-legged position, chance across your lap. And Leif, you kind of look over at him, and you see him meditating, and you see his eyes are not really like glowing like they usually are, and he seems almost low power mode, like you've seen before, but he's just exceptionally still, and you would assume he's kind of down for the night. So we'll go into that in just a minute here. With anyone else, before I guess I do that, Mallow, are you looking to do any alchemy? Pluzak is doing something right now, so let me go make a little roll for him.
How much time do we have?
It's a full long rest, so this is just you guys doing stuff before you settle down to bed to sleep through into the night. Sleep through the night, I should say, into the next day. So however long you want to take, it shouldn't really matter much. It's like any other long rest.
I think the last time was just going through.
I believe you
I
unlocked
pretty
a couple
much-
more recipes last time, and you also, I think, got another success on your alchemy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know that. Go to the notes. That's the wrong side of this notebook.
Feel that sometimes.
Bum,
Mace,
bum, 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 bum.
Mallow.
So 20 passed. I remember that. I think I kept it. 13 failed it, but it was like a 17 was decent.
Hmm.
But 20 or above got me better results, as well as the fact that I ended up getting advantage on my next ones. Um, the posted the potion of stability, healing, greater healing, superior healing, and vitality are the ones that I currently know.
Yep, correct.
Um,
So it's a matter of what you would like to pursue at this point.
can I see if human remains would be viable for any type of alchemy?
You can try. You would definitely know from what is, actually been translated for you, though. It always seems to reference monster or beast parts.
Damn it.
So you can always try. I mean, it's just it's not in your guide, I guess is the best way to phrase
Okay.
it.
I think I want Mallow to focus on understanding his key more, since again, this goes back to this was never taught to him. He just was taught that it's an ability, it's a power, but he never like understood anything.
Hmm.
And with
Okay.
what the dragon dude talked to me about, it's I have this very specific type. So Mallow
Yeah.
wants to learn how to better control it.
Okay.
So whatever that entails, whether that's doing the arcane fire kind of thing, or whether that's just learning to focus and channel the key and
I
and
think I'll
studying
open it up
the
to you, I
feelings.
guess. What do you think Mallow would be doing in order to try and practice with his key in that regard?
I
What sort
think
of
he would be.
yeah? Go
I
ahead.
think he would be sitting. He'd be like sitting crisscross, monk style kind of thing, and he'd be holding his hands almost like he's trying to hold an orb from the top and the bottom towards his abdomen,
Hmm.
and focusing his energy into his hands to try to not trap the energy, but concentrate it so that he can understand more about it, the feelings and sensations, and what it is.
Okay. I think in that regard, it would just be a wisdom roll.
Oh
You're not
God.
utilizing any tools or anything, and your key is a wisdom-based ability. So
Saving throw or just normal?
just normal wisdom roll.
It's
Yeah.
the same for me, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be different, but just
17.
that's pretty darn good though. I would say that since this is the first time that you've tried something like this, you do find success in the sense that you definitely kind of start sensing some sort of energy flowing between your palms. You feel as if after a certain point, it's almost like little sparks of electricity are kind of jumping from hand to hand, and you kind of finally open your eyes and peek at this effect that you think you've created, and for at least a fraction of a second, you're able to watch as these black lines of like lightning almost are indeed jumping across your skin from one palm to the other. However, in kind of wondering about your success and viewing it, you lose focus and it kind of drops. But you go back into it and you feel like you're kind of getting that effect again, although not quite as efficiently. And you just kind of continue throughout the night, just starting to mindlessly give shape to your key in a way you haven't before. You would say as well that after kind of practicing this for a bit, it does remind you a little bit of how you use like darkness or minor illusion, in that you can kind of feel the drain on your energy, and it's creating this effect. But with the kind of formless nature and how little key it's using, it's not really tiring you too much, and you feel like you are definitely gaining at least some more understanding of how this power functions.
Okay.
Um, Pluzak, after a short while, is going to start heading back towards his bunk. He will knock on the door here. So Leif and Mace, well, Mace, you wouldn't hear it. Leif, you'd hear a knock on your door.
Yeah, I'll open it.
So you would find Pluzak is standing there. He basically has like a little section of rope tied through the handles of a whole bunch of mugs, and he's just holding it. And the mugs are empty, of course, so they're kind of clattering together. And he holds up his other hand, and in it is this steaming jug, and he just says, "I made some tea to warm us. Would you like some?"
Is there any um,
Reason?
alcohol in there?
No,
Same thing.
just mushrooms. And a little bit of honey I found.
Okay, okay. I will have some. Thank you.
So he would take and like hold out the bugs towards you, and the second you grab one, he kind of finagles the rope a little so that you can work the mug out of it. And you notice that he's holding two, open ends in his hand to kind of just keep them together, but you don't carry it, but you can easily take it off the rope. And then he, as you're holding it, just pours some of this tea into the mug. It definitely looks kind of muddy and brown. He definitely smells earthy and like mushrooms, but there's a hint of kind of sweetness buried in there somewhere. And if you're brave enough to sip it, you would find a very matching taste. It's kind of comforting though. I mean, almost akin to like a coffee if if you think Leif would have had that before. Um, with like he said, just kind of a honey sweet to it. Kind of reminds you again that at the end of the day, Pluzak is indeed a chef to some extent.
I'll I'll just say then thank you. It's definitely not the worst I've had. Is there anything else you need?
No, not unless you need anything from me.
Not tonight.
I know I look like a sea creature, but I will not sleep with you. And he turns and walks away, having a potentially
You don't know that.
Leif sticks to his guns. I love it.
I shut the door.
Kara, you would be the next to receive a knock.
Kara wouldn't respond right away because she's just kind of lost in her meditation.
That's fine. If he doesn't hear a response, then he just kind of moves on. Mallow, you would also hear a knock, but if you go stand up to check your door, Pluzak is actually not there.
Do you hear that when I click
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
this? Okay. I'm sorry, I have that now, so I'm like, oh, I'll use that. Fuck it. You just hear
Uh-oh.
walking away.
Oh no. But yeah, with that, if you guys have nothing else that you're looking to do, we will progress the night.
I think I'm good.
Kara, anything you looking to do with that meditation?
I guess because I got a sense in the last session that Auril knew we were on her island, just kind of trying to probe the depth of what I can sense about her.
Okay. I think we'll do the same thing as Mace, Arcana or Insight. Probably works best. Excuse me.
I'll go with insight, I think. Pull up that sheet. And
Okay.
yeah,
So
I'm
it's
not
fine.
getting a vibe.
No, it's not that. It's just the depth of understanding is what we're checking. So you are sitting there meditating. If anything, you kind of figure your best bet is to just sense out for any feeling of deity. You don't necessarily know. You're not really looking for Auril at that point. You're just trying to sense whatever is around, right? And I'm just trying to find something. So the more you kind of relax your mind and just focus on the environment around you and try and make yourself one with the world, the more this kind of chilling, um, biting cold starts to seem to seep its way into your bones. You recognize that you're not actually cold, but your body starts to shiver a little bit. Nothing violent, just enough that you realize that this is more than just, you know, a psychosomatic sort of thing. You really feel this is real, and that sense just seems to come from everywhere. So you would kind of assume, with that being the only thing you can really feel through this meditation, that where you currently are still even counts for within Aural's domain, and you would kind of judge by, I guess, the encroaching nature of this, kind of energy you feel, that it's likely that this whatever she can do, whatever notion she has, it's everywhere and can probably do a lot. It's constantly going to be eating at you and around you, and there's really no escaping it. Much like this frozen tundra, is probably the best way to say that it leaves you.
Okay, doke.
So, okay. So with that, you guys can all essentially start to head to bed. I would say, I guess, there would probably be one more knock on your door, Kara, before or after the one on Mallow's door, just a couple seconds after. But it wouldn't be. Again, if you do stand up to check, Pluzak would not actually be there at that point. Just let me know if you do want to check.
Yeah, I'll check the door.
Okay, so when you go and open the door, you would also find a steaming mug. It's just sitting on the floor right outside it.
She will take it.
Okay.
And drink it.
Yeah, so much like Leif, it's not bad. It's surprisingly kind of, deep and earthy and definitely kind of muddy colored. But this sweetness of, a light sweetness of honey kind of works its way through. And considering, where you're from and mead being one of the drinks of choice, you kind of have faint memories of always regarding honey as kind of like something of comfort. And this just kind of sets you, especially after your chilling sensation with that meditation, it just sets you a little more right. It makes you feel a little more comfortable and warms you from the inside out. And you just kind of finally settle down onto your bed, ready for the long rest, feeling like it was probably a good idea to drink this tea, especially after that meditation. So, but yeah, with that, we will switch our way over to our friend Mace. So Mace, in your case, you start to, meditate, and then everything just kind of goes black. You would, for a second, believe that maybe you slipped into low power mode, kind of felt like you accidentally took a nap or something, but you kind of catch yourself and you're like, that's a really human concept that I don't deal with.
That
So,
can't do that.
like, yeah, I get, I've been living with these people long enough that maybe it's starting to affect how I think, but
Yeah.
that's not me. So you immediately kind of recognize that this is a different situation. You actually, though, still have a relatively good sense of touch, in the sense that you can still feel chance in your hands. You can kind of sense yourself sitting on the bed. You still know, your body is where it was in space-time. You don't know if, your mind is I guess the best way to put it. And as you kind of reach out, you realize that you have slipped from thinking about this phrase in one way, and you now are hearing it a different way. The one who seeks my power seems to change to those who have sought my flesh. For those who have sought my flesh, a punishment has been established. A punishment has been bound. I'm reading from the wrong section. Consequences have been determined. And almost as if hearing an exceptionally loud snap of fingers, the darkness in front of you brightens with some very silvery white words. I will type these up for you after, but
Right.
just for the sake of reading them out, it's quite simple. The words look almost like a contract, something that you would have been relatively well versed in from your father. He would have taught you the rules of the normal world, right?
Mhm.
And this contract, what catches you off, is only several lines long. The top says, Rules of Conduct. Number 1. The king will hold power over death until all pawns have fallen. Number 2. No play may occur outside the bounds of the playfield. Number 3. Only pieces on the board may be involved. And the last line. Disobey, and punishment will be fierce. Victory guarantees what you seek. And at the bottom of this, again, the thing that really kind of makes you believe it is indeed a contract, are a bunch of signatures. One of which you recognize, most certainly, as your own. Strangely enough, even Chance's is right there next to you. You didn't even know he had a
Interesting.
signature, but it definitely says Chance, and it looks like a scribble that could have been done with a tentacle. And alongside your own are, of course, the members of your party. Kara, Mallow, Pluzak, and Leif. They're all written in unique handwriting, and as you look at each, you know, somewhere deep inside you, that they are indeed yours. Although you also know that you never really signed this yourself, so it is kind of curious to you how that could have come about. But just like that, the kind of letters fade into nothingness. You do get essentially a sense of permanent memory of what was written there. It's not like you'll forget it come morning. And then slowly, as you kind of ease out of this darkness, you do come to realize that the entirety of the night has passed. You are about 8 hours later, and so for everyone else, it is around 6 a.m., and you are on the next day. I will say, Mallow, you do not have cold resistance, correct? You might
Sorry,
be
I was muted.
Yeah.
Yep. Give me 1 second.
Actually, you might because of the ring.
Yeah, no, I have. Well, I have winter clothing on, and
yeah,
then
no,
I
besides
have
that.
cold. I have cold.
Resistance?
Yeah.
Okay. So, then you are fine. Never mind. Cold resistance will have gotten you through the night in this shelter without any rolls. I will let you guys know, just for frame of reference, because it might not happen again. Kara, I believe you do not have resistance to cold currently, or is it from your
I
armor?
do
You
have resistance to cold.
Is it from your armor, or is it from your class? I forget.
It is from the armor.
That's what I thought. Okay. So just so you're aware, at nighttime, when you take your armor off, I kind of was assumptive that it was off last night because everyone was in an easy positioning.
Yeah,
Um,
that's also a thing.
You will need to be careful with that because the resistance comes from your armor. If you're just wearing heavy weather clothing and trying to sleep in the cold, you would have needed to make a check that last night. You would not have needed to in this instance here because you drank the tea from Pluzak. Same to you, Leif.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have cold resistance, but you did drink the tea, you're fine. Pluzak himself would have been okay because of his magic items, but he also made it for himself. And Mace, you are resistant, so you are fine.
Yeah.
But just to try and start setting the tone, that's kind of, a couple of you would have had checks that last night, even being in this ship, because it is still really cold here. It just would have not been at disadvantage or anything. It would have just been one. And the penalty would probably not have been as fierce in my mind as what the book states for that straight up. But just so you know, it's coming. But yeah, with that, the next morning does occur. Pluzak could probably get himself up and head back to the kitchen and start making some snacks. What do you guys want to do? Mace, you kind of are up and free at this point, but if you want to partake in some more meditation of settling yourself, of course, feel free. And I'm going to take this
For now,
moment
I'm okay.
to do this.
Just do type the words whenever you're
I'm
able
doing it right
to.
now. I have it on a different computer, so I'm just going to
Yeah, of course.
type it
No
in.
rush. In that case, I think I'd just wake up normally. See that Leif is still in a coma. Find that normally, as a normal thing, and I guess sort of go out, see who's out and about, and I guess because I never really got to explore the rest of the ship itself, I guess. Unless, there was something immediately calling my attention, I would probably just go about like these back few places, namely this office-looking space to the right here. Just sort of check it out. If there's nothing noteworthy there, then I'll just go back to hanging out at the middle area.
Yeah, so you would find that it's essentially what looks to be kind of like just a rec center. Maybe even something a little more upscale for like some of the higher end and higher level like crewsmen to hang out or chat and have meetings if they weren't doing it in like the captain's quarters. All in all, though, it's really just like two tables, some furnishings, nothing really impressive. Um, yeah, and almost everything on the ship as well is just, or I should say, all the rooms are kind of much more barren than you would believe to have been, what they were in their heyday. I was kind of getting at it last time as well, but it seems as if everyone who kind of did survive or made it off this ship took whatever they could with them. So even in this room, you don't really see any like silverware or plates or anything. If it seems like if it could be taken, people probably did take it. So it's just the furniture, and that's about it.
Yeah, okay. Then I'll just probably return to center area, see that Kara's there, and just sort of, say good morning, say, well, how did you sleep? I mean, I know that some people, probably had a
Better
bit
than
of
I
a
was
rough night.
expecting. Glad we had shelter, but I don't think it'll be as easy moving forward.
No, I don't expect as much, but at the same time, we kind of don't have a choice unless we find what we're looking for and or engage Auril early.
More or less what I was thinking.
How are we looking on that, by the way? I mean, we kind of traversed half the island already, so we can probably spend the rest of today looking through the other half. I am hopeful, though, saying as, you know, yesterday was pretty, relaxed, I suppose.
Well, if you remember correctly, Pluzak predicted the weather, and his exact words were, "It's gonna be shit."
I mean, hasn't it been?
For all we know, that was a good day. We don't know what today will hold. Regardless, we may want to get across back to the island before any inclement weather sets in.
True enough. While I have you here, um, what do you know about pacts?
Uh, they're usually agreements made between two individuals.
And does a pact usually require for both parties to be aware of it?
Um, Generally speaking, one would assume you go into an agreement knowing what the other side seeks and what you're getting in return for it. But I'm assuming you're referencing something that is in the pact between two individuals of equal standing.
Yeah, well, I know we've been delving into this whole god stuff, but I had what I can only assume is, I think you call them dreams. Uh, uh, Suffice to say that I experienced some kind of vision, as I meditated like usual. And by the time I woke up, it was morning. Um, and this vision involved a contract of sorts, and mine and Chance's and all of our signatures were on it. Now, I don't understand if it was something I'd done or Chance had done. It's kind of part of our training and or upbringing. But if you guys were involved, I find that somewhat worrying.
So, in your dream, you saw a pact that all of us had agreed to, not just yourself.
Yes.
Did you see any names besides ours?
Not that I recall. Just, well, actually, yeah, a lot of other people, as well as, ours. Not that I recognized, of course, but yeah.
It could have been a premonition of what is to come.
How so?
Well, you're interacting with divinity and we're on a deity's domain. It could be one side trying to influence another, or it could be a vision of what's to come.
Do you think we'll be forced to accept some type of deal?
I don't think we'll be forced to accept anything. Usually with a pact like that, you have to choose. Even if the terms of how you're choosing are less fortunate, at the end of the day, the choice is yours.
I suppose that's correct.
Well, if we're going to look at it as a game of chess, at the end of the day, all the pawns go into the same box.
Well, maybe maybe the only way to win is to not play at all.
If you think that's the correct strategy to go forward with, until you get more context, you can only suppose.
Agreed. Thanks for the insights, anyways.
Hmm.
Leif will. So, did you have something else to say? I'm sorry.
No, nothing to add.
So in that case, Mace will just sort of back up a little bit, and just sort of start knocking on the door to wake up Leif. Like, are you decent?
There's a woman out here.
There's a what? The whom? Because he's putting like buttoning his pants back up and everything. Who?
Yeah, at this point,
Oh.
Pluzak would also return back out of the kitchen and just kind of walk over here and... Hello,
That's not a
everyone.
woman.
I have made mushrooms. They are candied in the rest of the honey I had. Would you like one?
I'm hesitant to eat something that may or may not be your offspring.
You should not be worried. I wouldn't give you fertilized mushroom.
I had no idea you fertilized them. But either way, thankfully I do not require sustenance, so I think I'll politely decline this time.
That is your prerogative. I will tell you that I find they leave me feeling healthier than normal, and any benefit we can get without the without the Morning Lord's blessing could be beneficial. And he just like turns towards Leif. How about you?
Yes.
Okay.
Puts his hand out.
So he'd give you one of his little mushroom treats. In this instance, it will last for 8 hours from this point, unless you eat it. And if you eat it, it gives you 3 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Let me make sure I'm looking at the right ones. 8 hours of being made. Eat bonus action to eat 1 to gain 3 temp hit points. Yep.
Is that how the other ones were that he made and gave out?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I thought they lasted longer than that.
They do. So if once you eat them, you have those temp HP until you lose them. So you could theoretically eat it right now and just float on the 3 temp HP. And the only reason you guys didn't used to do that, I think, is because you had the Blessing of the Morning Lord. You had 10 already. So until you
Yeah.
lost that, it wasn't
yeah,
really worth
there
it.
was no.
So like basically he'll still have 1 in hand, but Pluzak will start walking towards like the stairs and munching on another one himself. And then I guess he'll go up to the deck and just look around, and if he sees you, Kara, he'll just walk over and... I made mushroom snacks. Would you like one? They
Certainly.
are caramelized in honey. And he like hands it
That-
over.
And you will take it and put it in her bag. Thank you.
You are welcome. Do you have any plan for what we will do today?
I think I'll stick with our original one. See how much we can survey of the island before we start working our way inward and potentially getting lost.
That is probably a good idea. I think judging by this ship's both position and condition, most ships do not make it to the island, or people that do don't make it very far. So we should
I would have to
definitely
agree.
stay on the coast.
We'll stay on the coast until we have no choice but to push inward.
He just nods his head. Sounds good. I will make sure to keep an eye on the weather. And as he says that and kind of sees that you turn off and kind of look off into the distance to, do whatever you're doing, you would notice that he reaches down and pulls his little notebook out and then starts like flipping through some pages. And he's just gonna kind of go and lean against the mast here and busy himself. Seems otherwise relatively ready for the day. He's got his heavy winter cloak on and he's geared up. So, Pluzak's good to go. Anyone else?
I don't think Mal's gonna do anything. He's just gonna wake up and go see what everybody else is up to.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'll go up
as
deck.
you walk out of your door, Mallow, I need you to give me a very low save, but a dexterity saving throw. Oh, fantastic.
27, not
So-
20.
Yeah, so you go to step, you open your door and you go to step out, and you actually don't even notice it, but your foot brushes against something, and all the years of training under your father make you immediately snap into, like, it's a knife that's going to stab up into my junk. So you jump over this thing and dodge up out of the way and, like, position yourself against the wall across the hallway. But as you look back, you notice that it's just a mug sitting on the floor in front of your door. It's got some muddy brown liquid that, when you sniff it, smells kind of sweet, but it's relatively cold and seems pretty unappetizing.
Well, Malo drinks that shit.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so it's, much like I said to Leif, if Mallow's ever tasted coffee, it's kind of similar, really earthy, but definitely got a sweetness of some honey to it. Still tastes pretty good cold. No real difference in terms of flavor, but it doesn't quite have the warming effect of the night before. But nonetheless, it's a nice healthy tea. It's got some good antioxidants and shit in there for you. So,
Okay.
but yeah, just that happens. That's all. Good like fucking side flip over a mug though. That was epic as fuck.
Just
But yeah,
fucking foot touches it, and then all of a sudden it just cuts over Mal's.
yeah,
just
literally. Mal's like eyes are closed, yawning. Now he's like on the ceiling, like latched up into the corner. But yeah, all right. So I guess the next question would be, since it seems like everybody's kind of ready, unless anyone has anything else they're looking to do, I'm not gonna say no. All right, sounds like. How are we returning back to the shore? Kara has done a good job of checking the rope. Seems like it's still. Actually, remind me. What did you secure it to on the other side? Because I think what
The
happened
other
was
side was
it was
a
on
pick
Pluzak.
or a peat. It was a
No, you guys never actually did that. I don't think. My memory of it is Pluzak tied the rope around himself. He let everybody else cross, and then he turned into like a mouse or something, and you flew him across.
Oh, that might have been how it was then.
The rope would still be tied on your end, and we'll say it's bunched up on the deck right there. But currently, it's not actually attached to anything out in the distance. Does not mean that you can't go and do that. It's just not the solution that you guys came up with at the time. So, however you want to approach it or proceed.
I mean, I guess in that case it'd be best to shove a piton into the ground on the other side and tie it off to that.
Yep, that would absolutely work. Yeah, so Kara will just we'll say she flies over and uses like. Do you have any hand axes?
Hand axes.
I feel like you should.
I do.
I have a pickaxe.
I guess whatever. Use the side of the pickaxe to hammer a piton into the ground, really deep and tight into the ice, and just loop the rope through it, tie it nice and tight off, and kind of. I don't know. Do you want to fly back over? Do you want to just give them a signal? What's the plan there?
I will signal across that it should be secure at this point.
Yeah. So the guys, the rest of you who are there, Pluzak probably has the highest passive perception, I'd imagine. So he'll tell you guys that she's given a thumbs up, and good to try and climb across if you want. I will still have to do the same things that we did on the way out, which was, I believe, a athletics or acrobatics check. I'm sorry, if you want to climb across the rope, or you can try and find another way to go across.
I'll try the acrobatics, I guess.
Alrighty.
Ugh, nope.
Yeah, so you start climbing out on the rope, and you end up falling off the rope into the water. I will. So at this point, you do not have a swim speed, I'm assuming.
Nope.
So you will just need to, you're going to get there pretty slow. You're moving at half speed. And check something. So because you are resistant to cold, you should be okay here. So it's just going to be, the act of swimming back to the island. But you are also swimming to, if you remember from the first dock that you guys came across.
Yeah, it's high cliff.
Yeah, it's basically just a sheer cliff. So you will need to find a way to climb that, or climb a rope up it, or whatever. But you can still make it to that cliff at a minimum first. Anyone else want to
if
go
I
the
can
rope
make
route?
it just throughout the way, then that's fine.
Yeah, since you have the resistance to cold, the swim will not really be anything too hard for you.
My rope is the one that's currently the rope bridge, so I cannot assist with that.
That would be correct.
Well, good thing that
Is
Leif
it-
has about 80,000 feet
Yeah.
of rope.
Yeah, you can solve the problem with that for sure, but I think before that point, we still need to figure out how the rest of the party is trying to get across.
I'll make the acrobatics checks.
Okay, go for it.
26.
Yeah, fantastic. You don't even bother trying to climb across the rope. You stand up on top of it and then basically run
He's a
across it like a
wild
fucking ninja. You Naruto run that shit. Your arms out behind you and everything. Just jump off onto the
Mace,
cliff.
how much do you weigh with all your equipment?
A lot.
We figured it out at
All
last.
of
I
it.
believe we figured out last session. He's close to 450 or 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Cool. If I enlarge myself, that doubles my push, lift, drag, which means I can lift that amount.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
or the
fine,
party could
because-
group up and just do it together. I mean,
Well,
three
there's
of you
that,
were
but
proven
also
to
I
have
have
been able to do it before, so.
multiple. Hold on, what do I have? Crampons.
You could try
So
and
I
climb
can
it.
use that to climb.
You could.
Yeah.
Oh well, if that doesn't work, I
I
will
think
I will go
you-
up a size
whatever-
and get you out of
I
the
don't
water.
know if your enlarge has like a limited use or something.
I get 3 uses per short rest.
Oh damn. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, 3 uses per long rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um,
That seems more reasonable.
Well, yeah, and again, if other people make it across, they can just help her as well if she doesn't want to waste it at that point. It just depends on that.
Yeah. There's ways around it. Might as well not waste the resource.
So if those are
Yeah, well,
short,
everyone
yeah, okay.
else comes across, I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Yeah, if anything, Pluzak is probably just going to transform into something small again and have Kara carry him across. If he wants to yell at me for doing that later, he can yell at me. But he looks like he gets those back on a short rest, so fuck it. So Pluzak will make it across without too much issue. Mallow made it across. Mace is in the water, so that just leaves us with Leif. How you feeling, buddy?
I figure I just do what I did last time, which I believe was transferring myself to my echo and going.
And you swam.
and then-
The thing is, you swam to the ship last time, but you could climb onto the ship because that, you. To me, the reason I let you do that without any checks or anything was Leif knows ships. So going to the right place and knowing how to climb the rigging and all that, or even just knowing where on the side he can make his way up, felt like it would be natural for the character to me. But much like what Mace has to deal with, you are facing essentially a 200-foot high ice cliff when you go back to, or 100-foot high, something like that, when you go back over to the island side. So how do you intend to climb it if that's what you want to do?
Oh my fucking god. I would just yell up at the party up there to drop a rope down and use the rope to help me climb up this.
So, I don't think your echo can talk. But I guess you could
will
yell
use
it
your
out
sign
yourself
language.
beforehand. I'd be fine with. That's no problem. Just letting you know that your echo itself can't speak even in that mode. As far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
It is a 50-foot high cliff. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's not that high at all. It's a little 50-footer.
Yeah, just gotta free climb the 50 feet of ice. I'm sure I can
Yeah.
manage that, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would have been the smart thing to do was to before everybody took off, because I could have given them rope and everything. And then that would have helped Mace and myself. But or is Mace getting carried by?
No, Mace is in the water. He fell.
Okay.
Mallow made
Yeah,
it
we
across
have
the
yet
rope.
decided.
Pluzak is being carried by Kara.
Well then,
turned
I
into a blue
guess. Oh, my bad. I missed the rope part. I apologize.
Good.
So the
Yeah,
rope,
yeah.
the rope is back across.
Kara flew a rope over, and she
Okay.
hit a piton into the ground and tied it to it.
Oh.
So you do
Oh,
have
that's
a way
great.
across
That's
that you could try and climb if you wanted to.
Well, let me try
athletics.
that with my echo. That way, in case
You doing it in Echo Avatar?
Yes, that way, in case I eat shit, then
Absolutely. That's fine.
it's just an
Acrobatics. Acrobatics.
Here we go, Echo. It's your time to shine.
Yep,
That's
20 is
bad.
more than enough. So your echo starts to kind of, monkey climb across, spider climb across, whatever it's called, where you're hanging upside down, sort of hand over hand, just your legs are kind of wrapped around the rope. But it's an expert, just like you are, when it comes to climbing across ropes and riggings, having spent years of ship work. It makes it across the cliff, kind of looks down at Mace, looks up at Mallow, gives him a thumbs up, and then all of a sudden dissipates, or should I say fills with more color as you change positions with it. And you just look over at the echo on the ship, and it's waving at you as it slowly just disappears. And you've made it back to the cliffside. So I think with that, the only thing we have left to solve is how you're getting Mace up.
Well, I think Leif with his rope his expertise in rope hoarding.
So expertise in
His degree in ropeology.
He's a ropeologist.
Some would call him a ropist. Wait, hold on.
Oh
Well,
my god.
I mean, yes and no. Yeah, I think he would, knowing that Mace is walking along the bottom of the water here, he would keep an eye out to try and see for him, and then once he saw him trying to climb the ice wall, he would drop a rope down to him to try and help.
Yeah. So, I would say, dropping the rope down's no issue. Are you trying to just hold it stable for Mace to climb himself, or are you trying to pull him up? What's the...
I would ask Pluzak to anchor it like he did last time.
It's already anchored on a piton. Or actually, I'm sorry.
Just
You're
using
talking about a
just using
different
that
rope.
same
You're
rope.
right.
Yeah,
You
we can
could-
use that same rope.
You
'cause
could. I mean,
that's-
Kara can fly back and get at the other end. That's not too hard for her.
yeah, that's fine. And then it's already anchored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would attempt to help him as he climbs up too, I guess.
Alrighty. So,
I'm back.
welcome back. So everyone made it across. Pluzak had you carry him as a little mouse. Leif had his echo run across climb across the rope. Mallow ran across the rope, and Mace is still in the water.
Okay.
So Leif had you fly back across and untie the rope from the ballista side, and he has it droop down into the water now to try and help Mace. The question is, do you guys want to try and pull him up, or just let him climb it? And Leif said he's going to try and pull him up, so do you want to assist?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to say between the two of you, having it be just Mace himself without Octopi, you could probably pull him up without too much issue. So Mace, just give me an athletics check that has to be above a 5 to make sure that you can hold the rope, considering you're
I
all
swear
fucking
to
wet
God,
and metal.
Mace.
Oh, it just automatically.
There you
will
go.
Be above
It
five.
just
Yeah.
rolls up 4.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I figure that that's low enough that you pretty much should succeed no matter what. So yeah, perfect. You make it, you don't slip back into the water and have to try again 700 times. They pull you on up, you make it to the top of the cliff. I would point out to everyone else, though, that Mace is soaking wet and kind of starting to freeze over. You don't necessarily worry about him so much, but any of you who are going to interact with him might need to be careful right now. Just a heads up.
Again, no tongues.
Mace, you are walking, what's the word I'm looking for? Walking pneumonia generator.
No,
Fuck
yeah.
But he's not like freezing to where he
No,
can't.
no,
move
I'm
and
doing
stuff.
fine.
Yeah, he
Okay.
should be fine currently. If anything, it's
Going.
again just another kind of warning to those of you with no cold resistance that these sorts of environmental hazards are much more frightening out here. Okay, so with that though, we will go back to the Island of Solstice. You guys should be in, kind of the same position up near that top branch. At this point, being it's going to be the first hour of travel, and let me actually make a note here. Okay. Seeing as it's going to be your first hour of travel, we will, much like last time, need a group perception check.
Perception.
And it's going to be a disadvantage. I should remind you all
I-
from the
Well,
fog
there would
that
be a
covers
normal
the...
roll for me, question mark, right?
Nope, it's from the fog that covers the island, unless there's something that stops you from being obscured through...
No, I meant because of the weapon of warning.
It is not due to anything.
It's not a creature attack.
This is how well you are going to be looking into the distance and perceiving things as you move along for the next hour.
Sure, okay.
So yeah, it's at disadvantage simply because the fog that is so thick throughout the area.
Right. Hold
You're
on.
good. You already
Never
rolled
mind.
one, I think, didn't you? On the side. Oh no, you might not have. Never mind.
No, I didn't.
So, and let me hit
So
Fluzak.
with the plus I'm supposed to get from my
okay.
proficiency thing, that's supposed to be a 15 for my low and a 20 for my high.
Yeah, that was actually a 17 out of Pluzak. So 17 and a 20. So you and
No,
Pluzak...
15.
I'm sorry, 15 and a 17. Okay,
Mhm.
so put yourself in aura, Kara, on your character that sees that's a 15-foot radius, I should say. I think that should be fine. Yeah. So this is essentially what I was kind of doing in the background. Is this was kind of the cone of vision. When Kara was rolling well, I was doing this mentally, but I figure I'm going to show you guys this time so you can kind of get an idea. That is the extent out to which you can see kind of shadows in the fog, figures in the fog, things that would catch your eye. So as long as you kind of have decent perception rolls during the hour and travel across land with where it crosses into this aura, anything that you guys told me before, you looking for like building structures, anything that kind of stands out as not natural, or anything that looks like a person or ships in the distance. You mentioned these things before. You'll be alerted to their presence. If there's anything different that you're trying to add onto that list or look for in a time frame, just make sure that you add it and into what it is that you are looking for. But otherwise, I'm just going to assume it is those same kind of structures, and you will be alerted if there's anything within this range that you would come across. With that, you have, I believe, 60 feet it was to move for this hour. I'm sure you're going to need something revealed. So you can't quite cut that far up. Give me 1 sec. I'm doing the reveal right now for you. So, yeah. Got to go a little further down. Fantastic. So throughout that travel time, you don't quite see much of anything catching your eye that you wouldn't have kind of... Actually, nothing really. Even the statues down to your southeast that you know about are not quite in that range. Which direction next? So I would remind you that you currently know nothing about what's on that northern peninsula since you have not cleared that area with your aura. But it would not take you moving all the way to the end of it to necessarily do so. So your choice on how you want to do that.
I mean, in general regard, I think if we get to about there, we get a decent coverage.
Yeah, you can go ahead and move it. That's fine. Yeah, it's in the square, basically. Give it to you in this one. Okay. So let me... let me do this for you. So you're not going to clear the whole peninsula? You're just going to start moving back?
It was the end of my 60 feet.
You're at the end right now, yes. I'm sorry, I see a 20 thing still on my screen. Let me get rid of that one. I thought that was where you were going next, but I think it was actually
No,
you
that
measured
was
before. Yeah, so when you make, by the time you make it to here, this is about the end of your hour, but basically it's an uneventful hour. You really don't have anything catch your eye through the fog. It's just snow and more snow. You do a pretty good job, of course, of keeping the shore relatively close enough that you know where it is, but you don't really see anything out into the water or from where you are. Nothing currently. Let's start of another hour. We will
Do we extend up the pedal or do we go down the other way? 'Cause
Pluzak,
if
I
we
think, has
go-
made the statement before that he would prefer to clear everything. So I think he'd prefer to probably try and make the way up there and make sure that there's nothing that catches you guys.
Because if
I
we
don't know
do
about the
that,
others.
then come back down this way, that's another 40 feet spent, basically.
Yes,
And
that
I
is
mean,
true,
I'm not
but it is
opposed.
only an hour to move the 60, so it's not like you're really breaking the bank.
I'm just pointing it out. So
Yeah.
if this is the path we're good with,
Yeah, and I'm just arguing for Pluzak's sake because I know how Fred
'Cause he
feels
can't
about
do
it.
it himself.
So yeah,
well, for the
'Cause he's
sake
not
of
here today. Yes. Thank you.
conversation, moved up to there.
Yep. Okay. So still, pretty much, you don't see anything that really catches much of your eye. Let me just.
And move down to there. And then end down to here.
So that's the next hour. I probably should have had you do another perception roll at the top of that, but it's okay. Do me another perception roll right now, though, everybody. Disadvantage again. Man, Pluzak. I gotta start rolling for Pluzak more. Fuck, man.
It's with the bonus I get, that's a 12.
Mallow is an 11. Mace is a 9 or something lower. Leif is a 10.
Oh shit! Yeah,
No, you're
forgot.
good, man.
Disadvantage.
Nine's already not great, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 9. Okay, so
That's a 9.
we'll split the difference. Sorry, you said you were what, a 12 or a 13, Kara?
That is a 12 currently.
12, yeah, okay. So, you're at 15 feet. We're going to just leave it there for now.
Okay.
Pluzak's kind of pulling some weight right now. But besides that point, yeah, start moving on out.
Assuming the pedal shape is about the same.
Yeah, here, hit the 21st, and then I'll unveil most of the rest of that for you. Just need to see how far you can see something. Okay, so you should have another 40. Oh, and actually, I gotta check this. No, I'm good. Alright, so move to the 21st, or towards there.
That was about where it was.
Mhm. So you find yourself kind of coming up on a cliff there. So you still have another 20 this turn. So, and since it's basically nothing, let me just clean that up. So once again, as you start to approach in this direction, you would notice, where's my note for it? That through the blowing snow, you see another assembly of ice sculptures across the snowy field at the foot of the mountain in the center of the island. You already kind of know, but as you approach, you realize that they are indeed more sculptures that are of, bears, elk, saber-toothed tigers, wolves, yeti, other, creatures, fantastical and not, made out of purely ice. It's just like the ones that you guys would have seen before, if not just a thicker outcropping of them.
Do we want to investigate the ice sculptures or just carry on our way?
I still vote that we leave them alone. I don't think we will get much out of them. Yeah, I mean that's my vote.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think they're really gonna do much.
So that being the case, then about 12.
Okay, let's go ahead and go to the 20 spot. So you would notice a structure towards your south. I don't think you'd be able to see too much of it through the fog, per se, but you would probably be able to tell just by what it looks like through the fog. Like it's this dark, large shape that looks probably akin to like a battlement or walls of some sort, like a castle wall, Not necessarily that it's that big or high, but it's a stone wall like that.
It's reminiscent of it.
Yeah, clearly seems to be encasing, like in something, like or protecting something, and it seems like it's probably made out of ice, of course, but, or I guess you could assume it would be made out of ice, judging by the fact that it's pretty clean-cut shape in the fog, but beyond knowing there's a wall down there, that's basically it.
Well, we can extend onto this pedal of the island and make sure it's clear, or we can go straight to that.
So did we fully explore this side?
You walked kind of out on that pedal. I'll tell you, there's definitely darkness out
We-
towards the water that you
We
didn't
got
quite check.
to about here, so it didn't. It opened up to that
Everything
line.
that you can see visible on the map at this point is basically where your view line crosses. So like, if you see something in the dark, you definitely would not have seen out into that position yet. But everything that you
Right.
see on map is something that your characters would have probably visually been able to at least make sure there was no, again, large structures or things that stood out to you through the fog.
Let's continue, I think.
Alrighty. Continue where, though, I think is his question.
Like, onto oh, right, you're asking about this one petal and the next
Or
one.
going south, yeah.
I think...
Pluzak would, I think, vote again to continue searching the shoreline. I believe he mentioned that before. Or, like, sticking to the shoreline. So, probably a vote that way, at least.
I say south. I think, whatever we may or may not find there.
All right, so
Yeah, when you say that
What-
as well, Pluzak would say, we can always double back if it's nothing. But if
Yeah.
we want to check it out, it's not like he's against it. He just wants to make sure that we always keep the shoreline visible to have a frame of reference. Probably the best case. So either or. Leif or Mallow, either of you care?
I'd say we're probably fine. We can always double back. I like that.
So fine for
Agreed.
which way? Go to up the branch or down towards the structure?
I'd say down towards the structure. Yeah.
Down with the
well,
signals.
that's 3-2. We go down.
So go ahead and start making your way that way, Kara.
So I'll move us.
Go to the
10
wall.
To
Yeah,
there.
move the 10 to the wall. You're at 30 there, right? So that should be
Yeah.
good. So hit that spot, and then I will. And I'm just going to actually cut most of that for you too. Give you this little bit as well. Okay. So as you approach, you definitely recognize that you are correct. It's about a 10-foot high wall of ice. It has definitely broken down in a few places, leaving gaps through the walls that you believe you could both cross into this section, or not only that, just can see through once you finally make it close enough. Peering through these gaps, you see what appears to be a huge garden of ice sculptures. At this distance, it's kind of tough to tell if they are identical to the ones that you passed before. You see a lot of similar shapes, but this ice seems kind of darker for some reason, and there's even some extra stuff here that wasn't at the other locations, like some ice-shaped trees, and a lot of the animals are even larger and, while definitely still true to their, living counterparts, kind of more grandiose is, I guess, the best way to put it. So, it seems a little bit more like a maybe upper scale or more cared for version of the other ice sculptures at a first glance.
Is there any kind of lettering or script anywhere?
From the side of the wall that you're on, I would say no. It doesn't seem like, especially from where you guys are peering through, this was the side of the garden, or the thing that was intended to be approached from. You're kind of peering through broken sections of the wall, right? You could definitely even pass through them if you wanted, but it's not the direction that
Oh,
the people would
I
be
would,
expected to approach.
fly up over to the peak of it and take a look around and see what the quote-unquote proper entrance is / what's
Yeah.
completely in there.
So once you fly above the wall, it's within your viewpoint, so you would be able to see that kind of that southeast or east southeast. The more so, yeah, right there is kind of. It looks like there's no wall there, and it doesn't seem to have collapsed. It looks much more like that's the opening. That's the natural way.
Well, I would pass that on.
So the rest of the party, you'd be told that if you head east and a little bit south, probably less than finishing the hour, but it's close to maybe finishing it.
I mean,
You'd be at the
Alternatively,
top of
we
it.
could enter through this gap here. I think that's sizable
Yes.
enough.
Yeah, honestly, any of them you could enter directly south to. For the most part, keep in mind that each square is like 200 feet. So if you could see the gaps from this far out on 200 feet, you can pretty much be guaranteed to go in them.
Yeah.
So it's not too hard to walk your way directly in if you want. It's just you mentioned looking for signage. You'd believe if there was any, it's going to be over in that direction towards the east. So.
All right. Well, I'm looking for clues, so
Yeah, absolutely. How about the rest of the party? Take a vote on it. You guys want to go in, go back? What are you thinking?
So it's a circle of like different sculptures.
It's a wall in clay. Yeah, it's that's kind of deteriorated, encircling an area that is a bunch more sculptures. They are larger, more grandiose. There's even sculptures of like trees and things that make it seem like a more cohesive like art piece almost as a whole. But that's about all you can tell without searching more or investigating.
Okay. Um, I honestly I don't like the statues, so I'm just gonna say let's continue exploring the petal, like the shore.
Oh yeah, like the outskirts.
Yeah.
So you want to head back up to where you guys were before? Okay.
No, I mean going
Go around
west.
the
Yeah.
circle. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So Mace's vote is go west. Kara, I don't know what you're thinking. Pluzak would I think say, if anything, probably go back north to where you guys were and check along the shoreline still. Um, Mallow, Leif, you guys have opinions?
I would vote we go into that circle and see what's going on in there. We're already right there.
Okay.
I don't see why not.
So Mallow's for in. Leif?
I don't know. I'm kind of with Mace going like around it to the west, so that way we can also see what's happening on the shoreline as well.
Okay, so that's 2 for that option. I guess unless you vote something else, Kara, that might be the Democratic choice.
we go with the Democratic choice.
So I will let you decide how much more. I believe
So
you're
we
at 30
wanted to
feet.
go more this way.
Yeah, I believe you're at 30 feet right now, so give yourself to 20. Yeah, it's pretty much right on the after put your full square on the other side of the darkness there, and
Okay.
you'll be in a square. So let me reveal more while you do that. Perfect. So you would basically see that.
Oh, just for the sake of it, I'll move the extra 10 feet remaining to there just
Awesome.
to see.
Awesome.
I gotta let my dog out real quick.
Absolutely. Blake, let the dogs out. Whew. All right. Bad joke of the night has been achieved. The rest of you can relax now.
You've done it.
What we thought was impossible. Okay. So that's what you see at the end of that. With that does put you at the top of the hour, though. So we'll need another perception check from everybody.
No, I can do it at disadvantage.
Yay.
Look at that.
15.
This guy's still kind of in clutch here. Damn. Alright, let me go and roll for Leif quick.
So 2 15s,
Disadvantage.
a 11, and a 4.
Leif's looking at his shoes.
Wait, why'd you roll it
15s.
twice?
One is Pluzak, the other one was Leif, and I just didn't switch my name.
Oh.
So Pluzak rolled the 15 with you. You're okay. We will leave the 15 circle for right now, I guess. Or actually, drop it to a 10, because
15, 15, 11, 4.
Yeah, drop it to a 10.
You need mine too.
Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, I didn't realize you didn't do one. Maybe you'll save it. We'll see.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
14.
All right, let's say you save it. We'll leave it at the 15. All right. So in that case, yeah, give us another. Which way you guys going?
I mean, we gotta come back out of here anyway, so.
Mhm.
For the sake of Pluzak's original point, we should probably head back up this way.
Yeah, let's go back up.
Thank you for being a good team.
So that would put us to about there.
Okay, so let me get the right tool back out. That would be useful. Okay, and you know what? I am going to just do this because it's kind of getting to the point that you considering where you guys have been. Considering you've approached it from both sides, I think you would start kind of seeing like a shade or shadow off in the distance on that shore.
Up to
Can't
the
quite
west.
tell. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell immediately what it is. I mean, you'd have some notion it might be a ship, but until it's in your circle, I should say, you won't be able to guarantee that's what it is. But at least now that you've kind of you were down to the south and looking up to the north, and you're now a little off to the east of it, you've seen this darkness from two angles. You can tell there's something abnormal out there.
All right.
So. And I think that was the top of the turn. Good. Okay, so
26.
perception rolls from everybody again.
Great.
No, I did. I just realized I have a button for that. I can start using that.
Yeah. I was wondering
5.
because you were doing it fine before.
I forgot about the button.
Perception. Hey, Pluzak finally Pluzaked. Actually, you know what? We'll say that's Leif if we want.
Oh, he just said he's back, so
Oh,
no.
okay. Then it's Pluzak.
Alright, sorry about that.
No, you're good. Just another disadvantage perception roll when you get a sec. And same from you, Mace.
Perception.
Awesome. Okay. We are going to. Let's see. It's 2 5s, a 2.
26,
Yeah.
a
The
17, a
26
9,
is
and
pulling
2
some
5.
weight. We'll leave it at the 15. You guys are doing pretty good. Good enough to keep it, I think.
Law
at
of
roughly
averages.
an average, yeah. So we'll leave it there for now.
All right,
Which
so
way you want to go?
that way. Yeah.
All right, so put it to 30 for me. Or actually, sorry, put it to the 15 one roughly up here. Well, I know where 30 is, but put it to that one first because I want to just unveil as much as I can for you up at the end. Okay. So at this point, you definitely can tell it is indeed a ship out in the distance. And then you can move the other 15 back that way. No problem.
Leif would just be
So.
like, being like a boat. We found a boat.
Yes, you're pointing that out, and that's it's definitely what you're seeing. You are absolutely correct. But as you approach it, Kara actually holds a fist up and stops the party. Kara, with not only your phenomenal perception roll for this hour, but your general passive perception being good enough, you were scanning the distance, and much as Leif was pointing out that there is the shape of a boat off the shoreline, you noticed a small, almost nearly imperceptible shadow off in front of you. One that could almost be the size of a person, or something similar. And as you got closer, you came to recognize that half buried in snow near the edge of a bluff is indeed a humanoid corpse. It's clad in cold winter clothing, and clutched in one of its hands seems to be a small orb made of a smoky gray quartz. A white weasel suddenly bursts from the snow near this corpse and stares at you with beady eyes. And as it does, a simple voice rings out. "Oh, ye gods! I was afraid no one would find us." But the sound isn't coming from the weasel. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread who was speaking. In that case, let me go back and change that. "Ye gods! I was afraid no one would find us." The sound isn't coming from the weasel, but the orb. I thought it was from a different location. Mobby.
Kara just like. Anyone else hear the voice?
Yeah, unfortunately. I didn't think there would be anything alive here, least of all sentient.
That depends upon your definition of alive, sir. If you could come and unhand me from this hand.
Unhand you from the hand?
A drink.
Do you have a name?
Yes, I don't wish to keep screaming.
Do me a favor and tell me what your name is.
Well, technically, it's a moniker that's been given to me. It's Scant, Professor Scant.
So you're what Valine was looking for then.
Ah, you know Valine. Good, is she okay? Last I saw her, she was unconscious due to a blow to the head.
She's not dead.
That's fantastic.
Kara would, motion for the party to move forward and just... What's with the ferret?
I'm not sure. It has been sitting around this one for quite a long time.
Well, it's a beast, so I'm gonna talk with animals.
Okay, interesting.
Did it not work?
It's not that it didn't work. I have to check something first. Give me a sec. I think technically it might not have. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So technically it would not have worked. You would have felt that the spell activated. You were definitely casting Speak with Animals, and you know that that part is working, is functioning. But as you try and talk to this little ferret, it does not seem to respond in any way that any past animal has when you've done this.
Kara will look at the ferret, its beady little eyes, and squint. That's not a ferret. That's not a ferret at all.
What else could it possibly
It
be?
just kind of sniffs at the air and kind of runs back behind the body. You don't see it anymore.
It didn't respond to speak with animals, so I don't think it's an animal.
All right. What do we do with it? Also, so you said we see an orb?
Mallow just starts swinging.
So I'll
the
read it
sickle.
again. Essentially, you found, or Kara pointed out to you guys, you're kind of standing, we'll say 10 feet away from it. Far enough that it's not like going to be able to, like for the, not it, the ferret being the it is, I guess what I'm trying to say. Wasn't able to like surprise you or do anything that you didn't see and had distance to be ready. But it was essentially what you're looking at is a half-buried corpse, clad in cold weather clothing, and clutched in one of its hands seems to be an orb that's made of a smoky gray quartz. And then the weasel itself kind of burst from the snow near this corpse and was staring at you guys for a bit. Kara tried to speak to it, and it kind of ran away behind the corpse.
Oh, yeah,
again.
it was unsuccessful. Yeah.
So that's about it. That's the scene.
Okay.
Jesus, the dogs are losing their mind at something.
I will approach the corpse, I guess. Not necessarily touch it or anything yet, but I will sort of, I guess, make the motion as if going to see how the ferret reacts.
So as you approach the body, you would notice the ferret kind of unburies itself from the snow just past it again and seems to just stare at you. But it doesn't really do much of anything. It just watches as you approach and kneel down. It's just kind of watching.
Orb, can you still hear me?
Yes, what is it? What do you need?
What's the ferret? What's up with the ferret?
I don't really know. He's been sitting around for... When did this person die again?
You've been here the whole time, so you'd have a better answer than we would.
Well, that would require me to be able to tell time. That's more up to the people that I'm with. I can speak, dear. I can't see. Maybe I should clarify that for you.
Fair. Well, based off my survival knowledge, can I tell at a glance how long this corpse been a popsicle for?
You, I think, would need to either do an investigation roll on the body or maybe a survival roll. Would probably... Yeah, you could probably do it with a survival roll.
I will look at Miss. Well, grab the orb. I'll take a look at the body.
Okay, I'll attempt to grab the orb.
Okay, so Kara will come closer to you, I guess. Unless are you doing this from a distance, Kara? How's the intent? I guess.
I mean, while he's wresting the thing out of the hand, I will start making my way closer and just start off by looking to see if there are any attack wounds, and if I don't see any, I'll move in and start looking at the body.
Okay.
And I will.
So yeah, if you're gonna be. Okay.
Oh,
so
right, I'm still on disadvantage. Fuck.
That's okay. We'll take the 15 plus 3. It's fine. So I guess with that, you get close enough that you can kind of see the body, but you're not really touching it. You're trying to keep your distance. You would say the positioning of it kind of tells you more than anything, in that it looks almost like this person...
Face down, ass up.
Yeah, they kind of reached this point, but seemed like they physically couldn't go further, and just succumbed to nature. You would find, at a glance, it's really tough to tell through the frost how long this thing has been here, so you can't really judge time, but you can definitely tell it's recent in the sense that you believe if this body had been here for a much longer period of time, whatever has caused there to be no other bodies up until this point would have probably gotten to it. Whether that's weathering, whether it's the snow would have covered it, whether it's Yeti, since apparently Leif, noticed that there was some potential Yeti, if you remember last session. So you believe it's soon enough that whatever environmental hazards usually cover or get rid of or hide these bodies out here has not gotten to it. But at the same extent, this thing is clearly a person who just died from the exposure to the cold, which you don't know when it happened or how long that would have even taken. Judging by how cold it is out here, could have happened really fast, so it's kind of tough to tell. In terms of cuts and stuff, you see no cuts. You don't see anything that looks broken or anything at a glance either. Just frozen corpse.
Looks like they succumbed to the weather.
Well, I mean, if they did, then is there any chance that it's one of those ice zombies that we saw before?
You know what? If it is a zombie, I am going to cast a spell and hit myself with protection from good and evil. Because you said zombie, and now my brain's thinking about that, so I'm going to burn the spell
Sure.
slot.
If you can just... Do you have that in Roll20 by chance? I'll look it up on your sheet if not. I just wasn't sure.
Yep, right there.
Awesome. Disadvantage on attack rolls. Charmed, frightened, or possessed. That's cool. Good effect. Alright, so Kara has protected herself. Mace, you mentioned you're going for the orb. I'm assuming that was while Kara was searching the body, so...
Yeah.
Okay, that's no problem. So you reach out, and your fingers kind of close around this orb, and you would hear him be like, "Oh, finally! I can't exactly die out here or anything, but I was afraid that I would never be found. So good to have you." Kara, you on the other hand, seeing Mace from a third-person perspective, would notice the moment that his fingers start reaching out for this orb and finally touch its surface. A kind of transparent figure suddenly appears above and behind him, and quickly wraps her arms around Mace's neck from behind, and dissipates into him. Mace.
Fuck.
You were close. Just chose the wrong target. I'm going to need you to do a charisma saving throw. Probably one of the best targets for this, but
Yeah, actually, I was just gonna say.
it is also kind of hilarious, right?
So obviously, it goes without mention, I do have my aura of protection.
Yeah, I think it's built into your rolls, though, right?
I don't know.
It
I
is
don't
on
think
roll
so.
or it is on D&D Beyond, so I wasn't sure if it was on Roll20.
What's the modifier on D&D Beyond?
I will look. I gotta pull you up again.
I can actually check.
So your D&D Beyond modifiers are +8, +4, +7, +3, +6, +11. I'm pretty sure you would not have an int +3 saving throw if it wasn't counting your
So it's
aura,
not. It's not included. It's not included
on Roll20.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So we'll just
So
include
we'll just
the
add a
extra
plus
4.
4 to it
Yep,
either way.
it's just good to know.
So, yeah. Charisma save. 8.
Oh yeah, no problem at all for you. So let me just make sure I'm telling you. So, where are you? Where are you? Yeah. So I think you pretty much just have nothing to worry about. I'm going to.
Do I feel any of this happening to me?
So you would feel a bit of a chill for sure, kind of rocket down your spine at the moment where the ghost kind of wraps its arms around you and tries to possess you. But as soon as you feel that, you kind of put up your mental resistances, and you feel this presence, this chill immediately be kind of forced out of your body. And you turn around and you would see a ghost floating up above you. I probably should have created a token for her, but I wasn't thinking, so I'm going to do this in the D&D chat. Should, I think, work. Please work. Yeah, so you see a little ghost floating up above you. And basically it just starts, make sure that I'm doing this right.
Oh.
I believe you can still hear her, though. Where are you? Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, so as you turn around and see this ghost, and of course, Kara, you would see that the ghost kind of started to dissipate into Mace, but very quickly got forced off of him, and like her arms got thrown open, and she got forced back, away from his form. And she's just, oh god damn it! And I thought finally I had a solution.
Begins to slowly draw a radiant sword.
Not cool.
Well, can you honestly blame me? Just, okay, hold on. Just slow down. Explain the problem to them. They're new here. They don't know what's going on. Hello, people. My name is Nass Lantomir. Puts like a hand out towards you, Mace. Just like, don't know if it'll work, but glad to be cordial if needed.
Can I do a quick insight?
Absolutely.
She's perfectly safe and friendly.
It's not even that. Let me ask this way.
It's
What was it
basically
you were
castrating
trying
the
to
flesh.
understand?
Well, I was trying to understand whether she was trying to be the blisters.
I would say you believe she is, but you don't really have a good enough read on her currently to tell if that's the truth or not. Is the best way to put it.
Also,
Right.
it just kind of seems like she blew her shot. So.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, you could read into that
Um,
as much as you wish, one way or another.
Yeah. I think what I am going to do is, I mean, I'll extend the hand. I don't know if it's gonna make contact.
Yeah. So
Uh,
as soon as you try, it basically goes right through, and she just shit. I miss having the ability to touch.
I could understand that. Do tell, who exactly am I speaking to?
I just introduced myself, Nass Lantomir. Hello.
Right, but you are here. Why?
That, you know what? Honestly, I'm dead. Probably not worth hiding. I was here for something called the Codicil of White. Yeah, again, dead. Don't really know why it'd be worth hiding. You see, I'm an apprentice, of a group called the Arcane Brotherhood. Ever heard of it?
You knocked
We've
out.
had encounters.
You knocked out Valine, didn't you?
Do you know Valine?
Well, you have her orb, so
Yeah, you can't really
Yeah.
kill me again, so that's fair. Yeah, I know her. She's a dumb bitch, but
I wouldn't. I mean, hold on. May I ask how you came to be what you are now?
dead?
my money's
Well-
unfroze to death.
I meant more so an apparition.
She's already like pointing at Kara as she says froze to death, but when you clarify the apparition part, she says, that's the part I think I figured out, but I'm not sure, to be honest. So, I died here regretting the fact that I never got my hands on the codicil, which makes me think that until I do, I have regrets. The problem is, and as she says this, she starts to kind of hover off in a different direction, like any direction, basically. And you would notice that as soon as she gets about 200 feet away from you guys, she just dissipates into nothing, and then you would see her just kind of slowly, like, come up out of her body again. I can't leave, if that wasn't
Can
apparent.
Valkyrie solve this problem?
There is definitely things that you could potentially do that others wouldn't be able to help here. I don't think you can just make her dissipate without solving the regret, though. You definitely have more control over this sort of scenario than most characters would, though, I would say. More
I'm
influence.
just gonna
maybe.
literally look up and go, Rhoda, this one's all yours.
God. You see a cloud
Alright,
form
no.
into a fucking giant middle finger. Rhoda doesn't have that power.
I know. No, I meant that more as a joke for the second
absolutely.
part, but no, I'm just Valkyrie things for the problem. Like,
Yeah, depending on
If-
what you come up with. I mean, like I said, you have more like leeway than most characters would.
Like,
But I can't.
I'm just imagining like I can see spectral chains binding her to the ground or something.
Yeah. You would, let me put it this way. You would definitely get a much better sense than most that she is definitely physically bound to this plane. You would understand that she's probably right, that she has regrets of some sort. Whether or not that has anything to do with the codicil, you don't know her well enough. That's kind of like a personal thing. You would judge from your experience with spirits, though, that if that's what she thinks it is, it's probably likely. You would also know that the only way to move a spirit at this point without your original full Valkyrie powers, which you know you don't have, would be to allow it to bond to a mortal form and just kind of travel with you guys. But at that point, it would be
Possession.
considered a possession. So it would have pretty much everything related to that. Just depends on how you want to do it. I would say if you allow yourself to be possessed, that probably is the only case in which there might not be her controlling you, because I don't think a Valkyrie, especially considering you are literally of Empyrean blood, considering that's like the way it's been described before, you know, there is still a level of godhood to you. You might be able to overcome it a little more, but I'm not going to say that there won't be potentially negative effects from, you know, literally allowing yourself to be hijacked by a ghost to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's kind of, I think, the general overview on that.
I'm gonna think about some options then. In the meantime, you guys
Yeah.
do you.
Yeah. So, I guess someone did ask. I guess her Mace. It was you, right? Her history or
Yeah.
her story.
Why? How did she come to be?
Yeah.
Like.
So,
yeah.
she was starting to explain, but essentially she would tell you. Yeah. So, I was kind of an apprentice for the Arcane Brotherhood. Myself and a couple others. I think 4 of us total, but we didn't really work that great together. So, never really kept track. We're sent to find a Netherese city called Yithrin. Last we kind of believed it's underneath the Rega Glacier. Probably has been for thousands of years. So that's what I've been doing in the Icewind Dale. That's what Valine's doing in the Icewind Dale. That's what a couple others are doing in the Icewind Dale, or at least last I heard of them. But, we all need the codicil for that, and I've been the one who got closest. So fuck the rest of them.
Do you know where it is?
No. Well, I could tell you which direction I think it's in, if you're willing to let me come along. I want to leave. I want out of this. I want to be gone from this. So until I get some guarantee of that, no.
Right. What about what exactly is your relationship with Miss Valine? I mean, it doesn't seem like.
If I
It
still had
seems
the
like you're-
physical
yeah.
capacity, I would slap her once again, if I had the chance. I cannot believe that stupid woman, some reason, believes that this little orb has value. Excuse me, resent that remark.
Sorry. I mean, I guess I should have included you. I actually, I'll talk to it like in the most normal way to the orb. Just sorry, I should have included you in the conversation. What is your name, and how is it that you came to be in her possession?
Professor Scant, as I mentioned before. I couldn't see it, but it sounded like she hit Feline over the head and took me. As you could tell, the lack of opposable everything really makes it hard to defend myself.
Arrow looking at the orb, looking back to the ghost. If he's useless, why did you steal him?
Because he was supposed to be useful. You want to tell him about what you know, or do you want me to?
Looks back to the orb. Remembers it doesn't have eyes. You know more than she does.
I know a lot about a few things. I have topics of expertise, being a scholar as I am. And at that point, you'd actually be surprised, as it is not the orb that continues, but your friend Bluzak, who says, "Yes, Valine mentioned to me when we were preparing that he has a vast knowledge of the history of Netheril, about vampires and traits of vampirism, about making, bottling, and drinking Elverquist, and the Tarask, which I am personally interested to talk to you about." As he looks at the orb. And the orb would kind of just... You think that if it could nod, it probably would be nodding furiously. As it's just like, correct, that's exactly right, yes.
Of course.
And
Arrow
It's,
looks
by
back
the
to
way, the whole
ghost.
thing about the Nethery city, Yithrin, that's the reason he was supposed to be helpful. The problem is he just repeats facts at you all day and doesn't fucking help with anything.
Mallow just stares at Pluzak.
His back is to you. He has no idea.
Good. Can I project a mirror using minor illusion in front of Pluzak so he can see?
No, but you can project a giant arrow above Pluzak's head that he kind of like catches a glimpse of and looks up, and he realizes that you're probably doing that.
Perfect.
All right. I do think I sort of interrupted someone trying to ask a question there, though. So sorry about that, whoever it was. All right, so we'll take a step. Go ahead. Sorry.
We've determined you froze to death. How did you get here?
The ghost points out to the ship off to your west, and she says, I gotta find it first. Where's the little bit on her? Hold on. Ah, there we go. She says, I chartered that ship, a pirate ship called the Wicked Eddy, to bring me out this way. And honestly, they were good people. As long as I gave them the money that they asked for, and they abided their end of the bargain, until we hit the fucking ice. Then water started entering the ship, and they went to shit, and one of them threatened my life, so I burned him to death, and I jumped in the water. I swam all the way out here, made it up the fucking cliffside, and then I froze on this fucking wasteland.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yes, you want to try? Not exactly fun. It's a
I
really
can't
painful
die.
way to go. It feels like burning.
I can't die, but I've died 1,000 times.
Okay, so we have one who's insane. Anyone else want to start speaking sense and please actually make a deal with me?
Mallow raises his hand. I killed her 1,000 times.
Okay, so we've got some weird S&M couple. Any of the rational ones? Looks over at you, Mace.
Okay, well, that depends on the deal you want to make.
It's easy. Let me take over your body. I lead you guys to the codicil, or at least where I believe it to be. I truly, as far as I understand, believe that if I get my hands on it for even just a moment, I'll be able to pass on. That's all I want.
Okay, well, I'll look at the rest of the party and say, honestly, as much as I know that we could just grab him as I sort of like motion towards the orb.
It's in your hand still at this point, honestly. So
Yeah, sort of like lift it a little bit to just show it him.
gotcha.
And leave. It doesn't exactly feel right. So, while I'm not going to ask any of you to let yourselves be possessed, I do want your opinions on whether or not I should allow it. I don't
Mallow,
want to leave her.
Do you still have one of the masks that you used to carry, or did you throw both of them out a window?
I believe they're both gone.
Yeah, they're both gone.
So much for that idea.
So we need a body.
That's actually really true.
I just my echo just pops up next to me, and I'm just like, so we just
I
need.
believe your echo though
vessel?
is immune to all conditions.
Yes.
So
Then
I would
possessed
say,
is a condition.
yeah, it creates a bit of an issue in that regard. I'm gonna say I love the creativity, but just for the sake of how this is supposed to work for the current moment, no.
Does it have to be a sentient body?
I don't know it has to be sentient, but I'm gonna say it definitely has to be able to be afflicted by, conditions, status effects.
Well, I mean, if it's just a living creature, or like not even a living creature, we just give her.
It
an
has to be a
object.
humanoid, specifically, in possession. That's what I'm trying to go off of. So,
You can't move 200 feet from your body.
correct.
Can we move your body and you go with it?
Nope. Well, I shouldn't say
not?
that. It feels that way. I have never tried.
Where is your body again?
We're standing next to it.
Just generally gestures to the, pile of frozen flesh next to everybody.
Mal just picks up the body.
Um,
Believe
where
how
is
much
the
does it
bit?
weigh?
Less than what it would have normally because she's.
Regardless, you could even just drag it, and you could drag it without issue. So you start to drag the body away, and how far? I guess the question is, how far do you want to move it? Yeah.
Well, I think the question is, once we move the body, can she still go 200 feet away from it, or does she come back to that spot?
We'll just move the body
that's kind
100
of what I'm
foot.
trying to. That's
yeah.
what I'm trying to
move,
figure
move
out.
the body
Is how
100
far
foot.
are you moving the body to see how far she can then move from wherever the body is or wherever the point
Does
you guys
she
are?
know
Like,
her? Does she know her limit?
Roughly.
I mean, she knows where she was stuck in before meeting you guys, or before the body was moved, I should say. So.
Well, let's move it like 50 feet in a different direction, and then see if she can go further away from it.
Okay. So you guys move 50 feet, and she flies off in the other direction. And you would notice that the 50 feet you moved it do not seem to make a difference. She flies 200 feet from the point where the body was at, and then she warps back to where that was.
Not the body, but where the body was.
Correct.
Okay.
If... Alright, make sure. Ghost can't move 200 feet from the place where it died, unless it takes possession. If it's forced out of the host body and the body is more than 200 feet from where Nass died, the ghost instantly returns to that spot regardless whether the wizard's corpse is still there. Yeah, so the corpse being there is inconsequential, so it's always to that same spot. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was worth a shot.
Yep, absolutely.
So, I mean, just out of character. Other than Kara, which I don't know if we canonically know her innate resistance to being possessed.
More like
I
mastery
think
of
the
spirits.
real
but-
issue is that if she possesses me, you've lost me as a functional combatant.
Well, that's what I'm
Potentially.
saying. She couldn't. Wait, what do you mean? Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah,
if
because
I'm,
you said that
I
she
remember
wouldn't be in
possession
control,
from
right?
just. I remember possession
Yeah,
from
I think
just
what
in general.
the difference is, you're looking at it straight up, Chris. I did tell you that Kara might have certain,
Oh, okay.
more of a resistance to it than others. It doesn't mean that it's going to work the same as normal possession, but it also does not mean possession will not cause effects. Somewhere in between.
So,
Till
honestly,
you figure out what that
I'd
means,
say
we don't know.
let her possess whoever we think is the least likely target to cause an issue.
Pluzak.
No.
That's just
You
a
know-
problem for you.
So here's the thing: under normal circumstances, I think that would be an okay suggestion. The fact that Fred's not here makes it a bit of an issue.
It does, but it also makes it more fun because he just comes back to being possessed.
God.
Well,
I'm not going to say no.
I mean, I will. Leif would, being who he is, he would offer himself up to the group. Like, we're having this conversation. He would be like,
So Leif suddenly just goes, alright, well, I'll sleep with all of you if I have to.
yeah, pretty much is like how it would be. He's like, look, I'm not trying to fuck a ghost, but like, if it possesses me and I go around that rock for a little while, like, whatever happens, happens. He would do it to like take one for the team, but I do think
Taking it for the team, baby.
yeah, he'd be taking it.
I
But I
would,
think Mace is right, like trying to figure out who would cause the least problems.
I would look over to Mace and go, well, as the resident paladin, do you have anything to excise from other people?
Well, I was under the impression that you can just destroy ghosts, but it seems that this one is not going to be as easily vanquished. So that being the case, I think what I can, at the very least, provide is well, I can always just make holy water. It just takes a little while. Alternatively, I can I do have a spell for protection. Yeah, I mean, I
mean,
think
I'm
we have
honestly just
options.
asking if you have dispel good and evil.
I have protection from evil and good. I don't have the spell good and evil.
Okay.
But I've never met a ghost that I couldn't punch hard enough out of a body.
Oh
That's
my.
fair.
I
Honestly, I'm
fought
coming
you
up.
guys.
I'm just basically flipping a coin in my head to see if this would be worthwhile to do as Kara. But I am kind of the navigator, so.
Let her possess me. At the end of the day, I have great resistances, and if necessary, I can. Well, someone can cast a spell on me.
If I get possessed, I'm the least likely to get hurt because I would be able to hide better than anyone else.
Well, this is fair.
That also does state, though, that then she would be able to get away easier.
No, she can't.
Why?
You still have the cloak on.
You would need to expend the spell, but that would be correct, yes.
I could track your body if she tries to run.
Well, actually,
Yeah, I vote for Mallow.
I have to think back now, because I think...
I swore I wouldn't use it unless the circumstances
Did you?
required
I
it.
thought that when Gemini Marino last showed up, you had it removed, though, but I might be
No.
misremembering.
No.
Okay,
Never got
that's
it
fine.
removed.
That's fine. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, no, I'm down for Mallow being possessed by her. I think that's the right option.
Anybody else have any?
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, I'm good with that. I don't know.
Sure.
Should we
I mean,
take?
if he's okay with it.
Should we take all of his weapons and everything away from him? Are we worried about?
No, leave stuff for him to defend himself with. I mean,
Also,
It-
you can't exactly chop my hands off and have me continue to live.
I'm not worried
so
about this.
I
hand.
think with the rules of possession, the ghost doesn't necessarily know how to do what Mallow can do. It's just borrowing the body. Unless there are some strange rules in place I don't know about, but that's what I remember from possession, at least.
Sorry, what was the question? Because I'm just reading.
I
up
was
information
talking, just talking to the group in general.
Okay,
Wasn't meant for you, sir.
that's fine. It's just I'm trying to make sure I'm gonna follow all the rules once you guys choose a person.
Yep. So, just
we're reading up.
Mallow shapeshift into what she used to look like and let her take over.
Honestly, yeah.
Okay, so that's the way you guys want to do it.
I think it's the right call.
So I guess once Mallow offers himself up, she would once again float up behind him like she did with Mace, and she wraps her arms around his neck from behind. And that kind of would be the check, but if you're going to fail on purpose, you kind of
I
relax
do
yourself.
also
And
quickly transform into what she used to look like.
yeah, that's fine. I think that's totally fine. So with that, Mallow is basically incapacitated. You no longer have control of your body, and Nass is going to be utilizing it going forward.
Can I still, or can I talk with her through?
You can you have your awareness, but no, I don't believe that is the case. I would say, let's put it this way. I guess if she's in your body, she can sense your thoughts and then can respond to them out loud. We'll work that way, so that way you still have some agency as a player.
Can Leif hear me through his?
He probably would with detect thoughts. Yes, he could probably detect your thoughts. I think that'd be fair.
if I want to.
All right. So Kara would look at possessed individual now and go, all right, where do we go?
Sorry.
Also,
what's
how
up?
does it feel?
It definitely feels weird. Have you ever worn like a full bodysuit?
Made of soup.
Yeah, actually. He said made of soup in his head, by the way, and I think that's about right. I'm glad that you're feeling it the same as me. Yeah, this is weird. Also, to answer your question, looks at Kara, just extends an arm. I think it's probably pretty evident which direction, but if not, I'll draw an arrow.
I'm assuming she's pointing to the castle in the center of the map.
Whoop. Yes, sir.
8 kinds of badger shit.
What?
Don't worry about it. Just
I don't know. I
Trying not-
kind of have to put all of my eggs in your basket, so I'm going to worry about what I need to worry about. What did you say?
I said 8 kinds of badger shit.
Oh, yeah. No, that sounds about right. Honestly, one of those things that I was going to try and just, sneak in, get what I wanted, get out. But if you guys have this many people, I don't think that's happening. So...
So, the little beret that was around.
Oh, that's a great call. And as you say that, she's going to clap Mallow's hands and just say, "Zillinor, come on over!" And the little ferret will run from under the snow and climb up Mallow's body and perch on her shoulder.
I knew it wasn't real.
Oh, he's real. He's just familiar.
Wait, couldn't you possess him?
Nope. He is a spirit.
Huh.
Also not humanoid.
Well, I guess.
I'm just lucky that he somehow managed to stick around, because usually when that goes, and she, like, nudges her own corpse with her foot, he goes.
Right.
Speaking of which, loot the body.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's actually take her remains up.
You would find a leather satchel containing her spellbook, which she would basically snatch out of your hands. The rest of her gear, basically, she would tell you, is out on the ship. So basically everything else you find is just clothing that's frozen nearly solid to her body, considering it was soaking wet before she got up on the cliffside.
Okay, well, we know where we're supposed to go.
Might I
Let's
ask a
go.
question, if I could?
I don't think we could stop you, so go ahead.
So we find the codicil, you all are going to the city? Is that the goal?
Yeah, well, we had to. I
Tally
guess-
ho, carry on! Yes is all I needed to hear. I want to get to that city, let's do it!
I mean, I also need to kill a god, but yes, whatever.
We may take a few stops along
Oh,
the
right,
way. I hope
I'm
that's
not,
okay.
Yeah, you're fine. I do believe that was, what, halfway through the turn?
I
think you were at about
that was
30 feet.
15.
No, it was 15
30?
from... It was 15 from the top of a pier, which was 15 from your starting
so
point over
look,
here.
Yeah,
so
30. 30.
So you should have another 30 of this hour. So as you guys start to wander off, I will just let you know.
This is our
where
fifth
is it?
one.
Yes, hold on.
Fourth one. Fourth one.
Fourth what?
Fourth transition point thing. We've done 4.
No, that was your fifth, I
It
think.
was either 4 or 5.
It was 5. That was your fifth. I will be doing another +1 for
2,
this hour.
3.
I
Yep,
have
okay.
it as 5. So as you guys start to head towards the tower, she would finally kind of be a little more open and tell you, yes, so, okay. The reason that you guys are looking for the codicil, just in case you weren't clear on it, is one of the rituals in it is got a way to, well, at least we believe it, if it has a way to freeze the ragged glacier, it should have a way to unfreeze it. Now, of course, that means that we need it, and it is a holy icon of Auril, so I get the feeling it's going to be in some sort of treasury in her fortress over there. You all good to raid it? That's going to be okay?
Cracking knuckles.
Alrighty. That's, I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. Okay, so, do, perception, disadvantage, everybody.
Am I still doing my own rolls, or is her possession changing that?
You do the roll for me. Actually, that's a good question. I do need to check that, actually. That's a great point. Which stat does it use? Hers or yours? Okay. So it would be her, I think. Perception is a wisdom stat, or is...
Yep.
I always forget. Which one is it? Wisdom?
It's wisdom.
Okay. So roll for me. It's just a +1 instead of whatever you have. I think you have a +2. So
Yeah, I have a +2, so just roll.
yeah, and then
perception.
-1 from it. Yeah. Roll a perception at disadvantage, and we'll subtract 1. Okay. So
Nine.
9 for you,
9, 5, 2, and 11.
and I need to do Pluzak still. Disadvantage, perception, and a 17. Okay, so we are going to lower it down to just lower it to
10?
10. Yeah. So that'll be your radius for this hour. But besides that, you have another 60 that you can go. Nass would definitely, when she starts, getting close to this giant circle, would basically tell you she gets kind of a bad feeling from it. Not that you guys would necessarily disagree with that, considering, but
I'm assuming we have to go that way.
yeah,
Like-
hit the 40, and then I'll open up what you can see. I'll open up a little more than what you can see,
Alright,
actually.
so
but
40 is about there.
Mm-hmm. I'll open up a little bit. Oops. I'll open up a little bit more so that you can kind of hopefully get the 20.
While we're talking, Kara would be talking to Nass and like, well, since you've been here, have you seen any creatures roaming around the island?
The ferret and the wind, and that's about it.
No mephits, no ice monsters, no
Nope.
cultists, no zombies.
Nope.
Even the fucking dead can't stand living here. Jesus Christ.
I will tell you that a couple of the ships we passed on the way in seemed like they had some stuff moving. That's about it, though.
So, 20 to there.
Was that the 20, or was that?
Yeah, that was the 20.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. So at this point, we can do another perception check.
Oh, why I lose the 21? That's 12 for me.
Mm-hmm. Malaleith Mace.
Perception.
Wait, did I not already roll? I thought I did.
didn't. Different hour, I think, is why.
8.
Ah, okay. Yikes.
6, 7.
So 12, 14, 8, 9, and 4.
8, 9, 4, 14, 12. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at the 10 for now. I will tell you as well, guys, that this will be your start of your 8th hour. Puts you about 2 to 3 p.m., just so you have a frame of reference. Doesn't stop you, just lets you know. Okay. Here, Kara, I've got a rough idea of your circle at this point, so I'm just gonna... You would be walking towards another...
I mean, we don't really have much of a choice, because
Yeah.
frickin' to cut through all that.
Yeah, so I will say at this point as well, before you get too far, before you commit to the movement, I think Nass would probably tell you all. Hey, we should probably be sticking closer to the hill. I don't actually know how to get up there, so unless we want to just climb the mountainside, we need to look for an actual, like, not walkway, what's the way I'm looking for? Pathway. Yeah.
We started on the other side of the island. This is the only side we haven't explored.
Yeah, but how close did you get to that center mountain? Because I'm talking about, finding something that's, like, carved into the mountainside, not something that you might see easily.
I'm assuming that the docks that we landed at have a pathway that leads towards that castle.
Girl, there's docks at, like, 9 of these ends of these structures. I would not assume anything by dock location. I'm just suggesting we walk closer. It's not like it should take any skin off our teeth. I don't know, your call, I guess.
Honestly, by the topography, I honestly thought that those were more straight up and down, not sloped. So
The mountain around the
like
center
I thought
castle.
this area was all like spikes jutting out from the terrain.
It's not spikes jutting out. It is a mountain. It's supposed to be topographical, so like, each little ring is the next step up in gradation or in level. So you can see that it is kind of steep, right? For sure, it's definitely got a large steepness to it, which is why she's trying to suggest finding a path, essentially. Of course, you don't have to. You guys can try and climb it. You could, and you could start from that dock side and then circle it again if you don't find it there. I'm not trying to like tell you you're doing it wrong. I'm just trying to, let her be the character she is and express what she knows.
Party, do we climb or do we find a path? Don't bother me either way, because I just float.
Yeah.
How tall is it?
The mountain? Huge. I'm not sure. Oop, I think I just hit the wrong thing. That's not bueno. I'm not sure it actually says. Let me try and find it. 1 second, because I just accidentally closed the window that I had up. Restore that quickly. Where is the one that I need? 600-foot tall mountain.
Which direction is it? Like, we're just going up the mountain?
That's kind of the point. Is
Our goal is to get to there.
yeah,
Right.
which is on top of a 600-foot tall mountain of glacial ice. The peak is carved to resemble a gigantic skull. Not that you can necessarily make that out yet, but you can see it on maps. So
Yeah. Okay then.
Now, I'm looking for flatter terrain to climb up, which might be here or it might be down here.
I think.
Because this sucks, and this sucks.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, and as far as you have been able to tell,
Like,
but you also
this entire side
didn't necessarily
sucks.
walk as close to that, so maybe there is a hidden path there you don't know about. Just that's kind of why she's suggesting walking closer, essentially, right? So that you can at least start to uncover or be aware of what's around there. So, however you want to do it.
Either way, we need to walk towards the ice sculptures, so.
Yep, absolutely fine.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna take the dog out.
Yep,
I think.
I'll still be able to hear you.
awesome.
Just can't talk.
I think it may ultimately prove to be more or less the same. So might as well just go at it from now. Because right now we're at what, midday?
2 p.m.
I don't really know
yeah,
that I want to be.
Walking between 2 and 3 p.m. right now.
I don't know that I want to be out here at night. Now, of course, our options are limited. Do you think we can reach it before nightfall? Or like by nightfall?
That's to me or to Rick?
Either or.
I'm
I
not gonna
mean-
give an answer. That's up to Kara to try and determine. She's the navigator.
We move 200 feet of the clip. Let's assume we find it within the next 2 moves. It puts us to 4, and it's going to take another 3 to climb up. So we might reach it by nightfall, or late, early evening.
Right. I'm worried about those of us who do not have cold resistance. So
Well, I have a potion of cold resistance I can take for the next night. So, yeah.
and Mallow will be okay because he's possessed? Question mark.
I thought he had a ring or something that prevented him from getting cold.
Yeah, since he's not here, I will say yes, that is
Or is
correct.
it Leif that doesn't have?
I
Leif,
don't have
Leif does not have any cold resistance currently.
Yeah. And since we're going closer to the inner area, which is where we assume Oral is.
Oh, then we get close to the mountainside and hope for a depression or a cave we can burrow into, and we set up shop there then.
Yeah, let's climb in the morning, I think. So yeah,
Alright.
let's find somewhere to pass the night.
Okay. Well, we've approached this side of the mountain, Rick. Do we see any pathways, caves, or depressions that we could use for shelter?
In your currently visible area, no. You pretty much can just see, as I described earlier, that it is basically a mountain made of, a mountain of
Glacial
glacial
ice,
ice. Yeah. So you would believe that any sort of caves would probably stand out. So the fact that you don't see any sort of dark spots or anything means that this is probably just ice on this side, or at least it's as much as you can make out of it.
Can I just state something that has nothing to do with the game?
How dare you? Absolutely.
It's got to be fucking hilarious to anybody that looks up and sees me with my headset on walking the dogs.
I mean,
Yeah, probably. I mean, then again, though, there are plenty of people who wear like massive headphones, just normally out jogging or whatever. Go
40 feet
to-
would get us around to
Go
here.
go 3 feet past the 17.
So go to 20.
Yeah, I want you to go to 20. Because I think that puts you
Yeah,
at 30
that puts
for
me in
this.
that square.
Does that put me at?
Oh, that
does
puts
put
me
you
at 40.
40 this turn. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. I'm just trying to keep it in measurable chunks so that I can give you the kind of the down low on what you see. So as you approach this, you would notice that it is, a gradient of the mountain. You would believe you'd kind of have. It'd be easier. It would not be difficult terrain for you to go around it to the south if you want to go over this part. It might take a little longer, but it is passable. Just harder terrain.
Sit.
How's the wind in this area?
Brutal, just like most times. It's no worse than it is usually, but I mean it's
Wait.
just chilling winds and fog and snow,
Wait.
bitter cold and ice.
Well, if we're gonna make a shelter
Okay.
before the evening, now is probably the best place to do it. We'd have to make it ourselves.
Okay.
Or we climb the mountain and try to hide inside the enemy's base and take shelter there. Those are, I think, our two options.
I don't think the circumstances as they are now will allow us to, purely because Oral is there. It must be extremely cold just being there.
Then we make a shelter here, because I don't think we're gonna find anything like that boat.
Okay, so just to remind you guys, at this point it is nearing 3 p.m. You can definitely take your shelter, but by nature of it having to be 24 hours roughly before you take your rest, it would probably be another like 5 hours or so before you could truly settle down for a long rest. Just so you're aware.
I mean,
It doesn't mean you can't stop and relax and enjoy your time. It's just
no,
more
no,
like
it's me basically stating like, do we climb, do we keep moving, or do we build a shelter? Those are the three options that come to mind to me. What do we do?
And I would and I guess it's just to frame a reference that you guys have 5 hours worth of time before the long rest becomes necessary, I guess, to figure out what you want to do with that 5 hours. So yeah, there you go.
Right.
How about we go to Lay for Mallow? You guys have ideas? Stay or go?
I think we should shelter and then go.
Yeah, I think staying is going to be the better option. So I'm hoping that we can climb up in time and hope that we can find something.
Yeah, and then try and do shelter up there.
All right. Then we shelter in place here, and we take our time building something so that we can rest.
Also, Mallow wouldn't be able to give his opinion.
That's fair. That is actually really fair.
I mean, I could
start
detect.
paying more aware of that on my end.
I could
so.
detect this.
You
So
could, but it would actually be, if anything, just to clear the, make it cohesive here. We'll say that Nass is currently, anytime that Mallow has an opinion, kind of sharing it with the group. So Nass would say, Mallow, the one that I'm possessing, says to stay, but Nass would also kind of tell you that's a dumb idea. If anything, actually, I'll just. Yeah, okay, this one wants to stay as well, but you're all stupid for doing so. Being out in this cold is going to be a lot worse than actually having walls around you, but hey, I can't really die again. It's your choice.
And where are these walls? The actual castle.
Points up to the fortress, yeah.
three say build a shelter. We build a shelter.
Yep, so just let me know what it is you guys... Or actually, I'm going to stand up for a minute and go hit the bathroom, refill my drink. I'll let you guys spend some time. Figure out what it is you think you want to do, and then we'll figure out how to do it, and if it'll work once we get back. I would say save your rolls until after we figure out what the plan is.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's more in nature of... Survival might not actually be what you need, right? Depending. It probably will be, but you never know. We'll see what happens. So, I'll be back in a minute.
I'm just thinking build an igloo with an opening at the top and light a fucking fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably true. I'm gonna pee real quick. All right. What did we discuss?
Not very much, really.
I mean, there's not much to discuss. I think.
Igloo shelter with fire.
Yeah.
Same
like
things we did before, I think.
Yeah, I was just worried, like trying to get up there and then have to get inside there and then try and sleep in there.
Do we want to use the remaining hours we have here to explore and see if we find something good? Maybe we can find. Maybe we can even find a like a port near here, and
I was
take
gonna say,
residence
we
in one
never
of the
even
ships.
checked the shipwreck that the girl was next to.
Well, at this point, I think it's a little late for that.
Oh no, I'm just making the statement though.
But like, yeah, I mean the one of these other like petals might have a nice port. So if that's the case, then maybe we can even just forgo the whole like shelter thing and just use one of the ships. I don't know though.
No, that's probably a good idea. I guess we could. I don't know. I just didn't think there was enough time to try and find something at the castle. We could go closer to it and then make a shelter on the side of the mountain, but that's probably worse. But yeah, I'm good with walking around and seeing what's around here.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Shinku. Everybody still around?
Nope.
Okay, so we don't have Harrison. How about Kim? Is Kim here? So we don't have
Timothy.
Kim. So we don't have Kim. That's fine. I guess we're done with D&D for tonight. No one's playing.
What? But
No. You here, Chris? I think you're the only one I haven't heard yet.
I think he would have chimed in.
Yeah, that's fair. So you guys don't want to explore any more ships, huh?
I was just like we were just saying. Since we have quite a few hours, if we find the ship within an an
I will
appropriate
tell
amount of time.
you are on the heavier side of the map in regards to ships. You could pretty much pick almost any direction and stumble across one. It's just a matter of which way you want to go.
Leif's palms start sweating.
Yeah, he can sense
He
it.
has a
This
Yes.
week.
small erection that's
he can
pointing us in
smell
the direction.
The musty sea wood,
You can smell the spaghetti in the wind.
the tar that they use to seal the ships or something.
yeah, that's what we used it for. Was to seal them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Apparently, Leif has fucked a barrel of tar. I don't. What? Where was that one going?
Oh, that's what we covered ourselves with at night. When
Ah,
we played.
I see.
We played Daddy Bad Touch.
Daddy bad. Uh-oh. Uncle Grabby.
Uncle Midnight.
Grabby.
No, now I'm sitting here imagining Leif like covering himself in tar and like swimming to an opposing pirate ship, and then like
Yeah.
climbing up along the outside, just like the stickiness of the tar.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Like Spider Leif.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
All right, so since everyone is here now, the others mentioned a little bit, Chris, about potentially the plot was to maybe find a ship. What are we
Yeah, that could
thinking?
work.
Where do we want to go from here? What's the plan, boys?
I mean, ship would be ideal if we could find one. We know where two are, but it'd be a bit of a hike
Yeah.
to get back to
I
either of them.
was kind of open with the rest before you sat down. You're kind of lush for ships on this side. It's much more barren of ships on the north side, so you guys could pretty much pick a direction and find a ship. Honestly, it's just a matter of where do you want to go and how do you want to go about it.
All right, well,
How
head out
far
towards one
away
of
is it?
the, head out towards one of the pedals. I think we still have.
You should have
we
20
still have
left for
20
this
feet.
turn, and then you can So
So if
you
I
want to
can-
head to the closest one? Okay.
Yep, sure.
All right. Pop yourself over there. We'll do a reveal areas. Let's make sure that your camera can still see once you do. Hold on a second. Put that shit down there. Excuse me. Did it not
Oi.
reveal? It didn't give me the tool.
Hey.
You piece of garbage. Boop.
Oh.
Boop boop boo doo. Do 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 do. Perception checks for the top of the hour, everybody.
Yes.
Yay!
Percept this. Oh.
Freaking
Hooah!
disadvantage is fucking blocking my nuts.
Yeah, that's
Four.
the fog will do that. We're gonna probably end up with another 10. It looks like. Mace, we need you on this. Wait, are you the top one, or was that from the last hour? I think that was. from the last hour.
That was
That was
anything
last
under the
hour.
survival is fresh.
Fair. Thank
Yep.
you. So we still need a mace.
Disadvantage, yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna leave it on the 10 for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go ahead, Kara. Choose a direction. Figure out where you want to go. Plus 1 HR.
About there.
My notes. So you're heading 15. Go ahead and move it. Let me grab my tool again.
So about there.
Okay. And then doot 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 doot. There you go.
I see the edge of a ship there. So
Maybe.
nah, I can see it. Fucking, I know what I'm looking at.
There's a reason I unveiled it again, just to make sure. Alright.
That's definitely not a ship.
No. Okay, so if you guys are going to be heading towards the ship, we will need to do two things. First and foremost, let's see. We're going to make Leif do it this time. Leif, give me a
Oh, yeah.
D8.
Dice 8.
Well, we already know
Awesome.
from last time that I got the good one, so don't fuck it up.
You got the cleanest one. I wouldn't say it is
Ooh.
the only good one. There are good and bad scattered throughout. Okay.
I went straight down the middle.
So, cool. Cool. I am going to need a minute as we set up what you find on the ship. While I do that, I am going to need you all to start figuring out how you wish to try and cross to this one. Before you do that, let me do this for you. Oh, no, okay, good. Do. Okay. So this ship, as you can see, is a little further out than last time, I believe. Last one was about 100 feet out. This looks closer to a full square away to me, so I'm going to say it's 200 feet out on this instance. So just going to be a little harder to get to. So you guys can workshop how you want to do that while I get this thing set up. So that's all you guys for now.
Oh, it looks like the closest connection might be snow to snow from here to there. Unless these ships are set up the same way as the other ones.
I can't. Hold on a sec. Let me pull. Okay. Do you do from where to where one more time?
There to there or there to there.
And the question is, what exactly?
Easiest way to get across for all parties involved.
It would not make a difference whether you are trying to go from snow to boat or not in terms of if you have, I mean, you did the pitting thing before, right? If you do that again in snow, it's going to work the same on any of the icy surfaces. You can also do the same to the boat. It's just a matter of, do you want to be flying directly to the boat? Do you want to be going next to the boat? It's just...
I mean, I would, I guess, do a little recon, fly around and see what's there.
Alright, so, as it is 200 feet away, I'm just going to remind you of that, and that means that even if you are dashing, and actually I needed to look up something in relation to that, so let me do that quick.
I have a flight as 30, so if I dash, it's
Yeah,
60.
that's what I thought it was. You have a movement of 40, but only a flight of 30 right now. Okay.
Until I get level 3, but yeah.
Which is no problem. I just wanted to make sure that we were doing it right. Yes, correct. So in that case, you would indeed be able to fly 60 per turn for dashing. So it will take you, I mean, I guess we can just, yeah, it'll be 3 turns regardless to get over there. We'll call it 3, though. You don't have to worry about the extra 20 too much since you're just kind of flying around above the boat. Give me a second, and I will put you on map, and you can start seeing what you see. Give me a minute. Un momento. And I guess roll me an actual perception check.
This still a disadvantage?
Yes, it would be. This is to try and determine what you see on the ship.
11.
So that's that. Okay, so I need to check something quick. Okay, so what you see with an 11, and actually I can probably do it this way before I move your page over. Yeah, that's probably the right way. One sec. This will be that. Yeah.
Ship A.
So let me pop you all. So
No.
I'm just going to let you all over so that you can see what's happening, and by that I mean the camera. So you should be back on the ship's page, Kara.
Yep.
Once again, the layout's similar enough that we're going to use these same ships, but in this instance, you would notice that this ship that is crashed is partially submerged. Everything that is to the right or east of the blue line is underwater. Of course, it gradually gets more underwater.
This is sunken.
Correct. So the more towards the tip there, the deeper underwater it is. The rest of the ship is out of the water, seems fine. You would kind of be vaguely aware from Mallow's exploration of the ship as well before that there is a captain's quarters on that first floor that you would know is definitely above the water line that you see. So you don't think the ship would be unusable for your purpose.
Boats in decent condition?
In this instance, you would believe that yes, they look like they're. I mean, they're actually there this time, as opposed to the last ship where they were not. You would believe that the distance that you're at, they look like they're intact, but much like everything, they are covered in frost. So whether or not they are usable depends on when you go actually investigate them and see what they actually look like up close. But at least there are
I
some boats there. It looks like, yeah.
I would come lower to take a look at the boats, because if they're any good, I'd try to get them in the water, and if we can secure a line across, we could use that as kind of like a pseudo like floating mechanism. Just have someone stand in the boat and pull the rope, and it can get them there and back.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna fly down to them. Your perception was only an 11. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. This is assuming that the boat is actually.
No, absolutely.
You-
You would be able to float down to the boat, no problem. You would basically be facing off, towards like the north, standing next to this boat. So if you want to put your token down, feel free.
I'm still kind of hovering above it.
That's fine. So, but you're kind of like on this side of it, is all I'm just saying, and you're looking up towards the north side, just for reference. Because with your 11, I'm just kind of, you're not really focusing out on the boat. You're really more focused on, or, the ship as a whole. I should say you're more focused on this one boat. Roll me an investigation check. It's not too hard to see what's going on with this thing. Let's just see how thorough you are at investigating it. Beautiful. Okay. So you start giving this thing a once-over, and you basically are believing it's seaworthy at first, despite the frost. However, with the 20, you notice that there is actually a section that looks like it's fine, but is actually frozen over. And you would believe that once it's in the water, that section of the boat would have, basically at some point thawed out from the water contact, and likely have been melted and been a hole. Yeah, sprung a leak, exactly. However, you would walk down to the other boat, and you would notice that while it's in a lot worse condition, you believe that you could take some of, like, one of the little seats boards from this ship, and basically like jam it into that section of the other one and make it serviceable enough that even if it leaks, it would be able to get people to and from. Now, how long that would last after, and whether or not people would be able to use it the next morning, would be, left up to kind of chance, unless you were to maybe drag it.
I think I might keep that for a tomorrow's escape plan versus.
I would tell you,
across.
with the 20 investigation, you can definitely kind of tell that if you were to do that and you brought the boat down to the section that's under the water and like pushed off from there and came up there, you could literally drag it up onto the boat like almost like a dock, right? And basically keep it from creating too much of an issue. As long as you're quick with the boat going to the party and back. So
I would let
you do think it's feasible
resident.
at least.
I'd let the resident boat dweller make those decisions.
Okay, absolutely, totally fine. I just figured I'd at least let you know what you understand with that investigation. You definitely have a good understanding of the extent that you could make these things work, right? That's all I was trying to get at. So.
I guess I would do what I did before. I'd secure a line to the ballista and fly it back to the group.
Okay.
Be right back.
Absolutely. Okay, interesting. So there's that. That's awesome. So you are more than able to do so. Let me check something. Where is my Island of Solstice? Okay, so you would probably want to attach it to a ballista on the north side of the boat for you. From the positioning on the map of the Island of Solstice, it is the actually, hold on. Maybe I have it backwards. No, I think you're right, actually. I think I have it backwards from the positioning on that actual page. Yes, I had it wrong in my head. You are correct. Leave it on that side. You fly it across. No issue. You bring it back to the party. And how do you guys want to try and secure it on this side? Pluzak would probably again say, like, I will hold it if we need to again.
Well, I'm assuming the rest of the party is going to climb across like we did previously.
I guess so.
Okay.
Oh, I heard no dissension, so that is the plan.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okie dokie. So, if you guys are having Pluzak hold it, I guess. Actually, let me check something on his sheet quick before I.
No.
What do you have?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just be kind to him and do it that way. All right. So Pluzak's gonna hold the rope. You guys can try and work your way across as last time. What order do you guys, I guess, want to try and do that in?
I'll go first.
Also, I would point out, Leif, we are using your rope. We have to be. Kara only has 100 feet, and this is a 200-foot gap. So I would say that, Kara, you maybe flew back to the party, grabbed some rope from Leif, and pulled it across, but you do not have enough by yourself, as far as I remember.
No, I was operating under the assumption that we had the material.
Yeah,
amongst us to
across
do
the
it.
party, you definitely do. I'm just pointing out the small discrepancy in how it's occurring. That's all. But yeah, you basically go to the party, you get some rope from Leif, you fly it back over the ship. So I would say, if anything, you're on ship side right now, not party side,
You
unless you want to
sign
fly
the
back.
rope out.
So
Yeah, you had to sign the rope out though. Like there's documentation saying who's barring it. Yeah.
Leif
Kara
turns out
would
to be
just
very
unbutton
bureaucratic,
one
but
button
only
of her
about
shirt.
rope. Uh-oh. It's your rope now, apparently.
No.
Unless there's a fish between them titties.
If I ain't getting all my Fs, and by that I'm about to box your boobs. Let's go.
Then you can F off.
Oh my god.
Beautiful. All right. Regardless,
Yeah, I'll go first.
so I guess, Kara, unless you want to fly back to the group, you're on ship side, just so you know. How
Yeah,
do
I will
the rest of you
once-
want to go across? What order?
I'll go first.
I'll go ahead and go.
Nope, I've already said it. I'm going first.
What
Okay.
do you want?
Leif's going
acrobatic?
first. Yes, same as last time.
Fuck
I
you.
would like to
I already
also.
rolled. I win.
Jump,
Mallow
jump.
pushes Leif out of the way and runs across the rope again.
Okay.
I would like to shake the rope, not enough to
Open
make him
river?
fall, but just enough so he knows.
He has to pump his knees, and he actually bends down and grabs the rope with his hands to rebalance himself, and he looks back and shoots you a really nasty look, but he
Yeah.
doesn't fall off or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's still looking like that other girl. Yeah, right.
Correct. Well, and actually, I
Yeah.
shouldn't even have
Mess.
him. It's technically her running across, but it is his acrobatics roll, so it's totally fine either way.
And I'd like to do the echo thing just in case I eat shit into the
Yep,
water.
totally
I don't
fine.
wanna be
I think
wet
that's
as fuck.
probably smart.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Jump.
Always smart to do it the
18.
right way.
Once the party is mostly across, I'll go back for Pluzak. I'm assuming we're gonna do the mouse thing again.
Yeah, we are, and that's kind of what I was like. He might have argued to not be doing that just to try and save wild shapes, so I'm going to leave him with one at the end of the session, no matter how it goes, just to be kind to him, as he couldn't argue that himself. But we are going to use the same method just for ease in that instance. So,
That or I size up
Yeah.
and just huck them across.
I mean, I guess you could.
Like a discus.
You could try. I wouldn't stop you, I guess, although he might. So again,
I
I'm
know.
not sure.
I'm making the joke.
So Mallow and Nass run across. Leif comes across next. I'm gonna have you guys put yourselves for me. So Kara, put yourself back on the ship, or you are.
I am
Okay.
on the ship.
Which ballista did you tie the rope to? Just so I know where everyone's kind of jumping on. Where are they coming across to? Just put yourself there, I think, is the best marker for now. That's kind of where everyone's going to offload.
Well,
so.
with the sunken ship and all, I think I would have put it to here.
So you think you would have gone all the way to the back end. Okay. I know it's no problem at all. So yeah, you guys would all be
I
putting
don't remember the
yourself,
orientation of the ship, to completely honest. But if
yeah.
if this
No.
entire side
the
is-
orientation is the sunken end is northward. It's pointing north. So the entire south side of the ship here is pointing east back towards the cliffs where the party was. They're coming
okay, so
in.
this
They're coming in from. Yeah, exactly. So the rope is stretched exactly what you're doing right now, off towards the cliff. Yeah.
okay.
Pluzak is at the arrow end. So they're all coming in, and everyone, you should be on the ship map, but you can all start putting yourself in next to Kara if you succeeded the roll. So Mallow is good, Leif is good. Mace, do you
I
want to
haven't
try and
done
go
it
across the rope, or do you want to
Yeah. No, I mean I'll definitely try. So it's
try it again?
Uh,
Acrobatics again. Yeah.
acrobatics. Yeah. Okay.
The 23 is fine. You're on disadvantage still
Oh,
from
yeah.
perception, so you're fine. No
Yes.
issue. So yeah, with a 23, you finally shimmy your way
Mace-
across, feeling like you're
Mace
finally
mallows
learning.
the rope and just jumps up onto it, and Naruto runs across.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's
He's
that's
like,
my
"He
problem.
can
I've been
do it, so
hanging
why
from the
not?"
thing, and I'm so heavy. If I just keep myself on top of the rope, it's fine. Meanwhile, Pluzak is back there straining so hard he's turning red. But yeah,
And
after that,
once-
we'll say Kara flies back, and she gathers both Pluzak and that end of the rope and starts bringing it over to the ship. So, yeah. So you guys can all place yourselves where Kara is on the westmost side of the second ship down, or the middle ship, whatever you want to call it.
I would state to the group about the boats and how we could probably use one in the morning to get back, no problem, so long as we patch the hull in the other.
Leif, she points out this to you, and with her 20 investigation, you realize that, like, this is the first time that Kara's hot, but you're actually like, talk more dirty boat stuff to me, baby. Oh my
She's
God, like she's actually, she's talking, mechanic shit to of your variety, and you're just nodding along and like, yeah, I can fix that. It's no problem. Easy peasy.
Yeah, if that's what if we can, yeah, I can
Oh, Kara.
whoa, wow.
Eyebrow
My sword
raised.
just starts like raising up like Robin Hood Men in Tights. The sword.
Great reference.
Great movie.
Yeah, we'll get these boats fixed up. What time is it? Is it in the day? No. We were at what, like 2 before we came here?
We've traveled
Sorry, I had a sneezing fit.
one
Give me
more
1 second.
hour, so I think we're at like 5.
I'm just trying to see
Yeah.
if we should fix them tonight or in the morning.
Yeah,
I guess
you are basically between 4 o'clock going to 5 o'clock during this travel. So yeah, I would say you're here roughly 4:30, somewhere around there, right? But yeah, call it 5. Call it even.
Yeah, I would. I guess we should get these boats fixed up tonight. That way we can get an early start. We got a long climb.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pluzak would kind of form back up. Let me put him on the ship. There you are, buddy. He would form back up, next to Kara and just, well, it does not look like it'll be easy to sleep below deck like before. And he points over towards the sunken half of the ship.
I'm hoping the captain's cabin is a bit more accommodating.
There is a captain's cabin.
There was in the other ship. I'm hoping they have a similar design.
I guess I'll put Mallow down. Pop him over near you guys as well. And I realize what I've done wrong now. I've done things wrong. There we go. But yeah, so I guess Pluzak would just lead the way. I'd like to get warm for a little.
Oh, I will start heading towards that. It should just be down here, right?
Yes, that is correct. So what we're going to do... excuse me. Go ahead and move yourself down to that door. Kara, as you do so, you and everyone else as you come down this way, just roll another perception with disadvantage.
That's it. Oh, that is a door. Okay.
And in all honesty, what it would be is it's actually up
Hey, one of my
here.
double rolls finally paid off.
Nice. So, and for Kara, I will open this, and everybody can go ahead and do that.
So 27.
Let
I
where's
know
my
every
reveal?
part of this boat.
So, there we go. So, Kara is your captain's quarters. Mace, same thing. Excuse me. As everyone goes to follow Kara, they'll all be doing the,
Oh, I
the
see.
same
Okay,
roll.
we're
So,
all doing it.
yeah. I'm just trying to determine which ones of you see things. Disadvantage perception. Okay. All right, so everyone just start moving yourselves down to where Kara is, or up, I should say, to where Kara is. It's the ship above you. You should see the captain's quarters is now open. And just continue to roll those perception checks as you head over there. Zach will be
Do you
down
need
with
perception checks from me?
I wanted
from
to
everyone that's going to the captain's quarters. So unless you're
Yeah, I
staying
wanna-
up top there, then yes.
I'll do it as well.
I wanted to see about these
Normal or
boats if I could
disadvantage?
start working. on
You
these
actually already
before
rolled the
war.
perception mace. It was the 11 that I asked you to do earlier.
Oh,
I saw
okay,
you
okay.
moving towards the stairs and assumed you were following her. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it would be a 5.
So
Okey-doke.
am I just putting myself up there? Is that
Yeah, you can move yourself into there with them. I'll tell you all what's going on as you do that.
okay?
No.
You are staying there, Leif. Is that what I heard?
I wanted to stay and try and work on these one of these boats.
You want to get
before-
started on that? No, that's awesome. That's a good idea. Okay, so if you want to work on the boat, you can do it with a sleight of hand or a survival check, whatever you think would be more apt for your character. Mallow, you are doing the perception. I'm assuming that means you're moving down into the captain's quarters.
Correct.
So we'll go put you down next to Mace for now. So, the only one who would notice anything, Kara, as you're kind of walking down the stairs onto the main deck, before you turn, you're kind of like just turned your shoulders about 90 degrees, but you haven't quite fully turned around to look at the door, like a full 180. Out of the corner of your right eye, you just see some ripples in the water towards the sunken end of the ship. You glance over there, and you don't see anything, no real movement, nothing that catches your eye beyond that. But you most certainly see the water still shimmering from whatever caused the ripple.
So did I see it here or did I see it here?
You saw it, yeah, where you just clicked, basically.
Over this way?
Yeah, a little further towards the mast that was over there. That's a little too deep now, but somewhere in between those two, basically. Yeah, somewhere around there, somewhere in that area. You notice
Kara would
just ripples.
stop and look at the water and just
Yeah, so again, you definitely notice that, basically where you clicked, the water is still moving. There's still residual
Wave
effects,
action.
we should say. Yeah, but you do not currently see any shadows in the water. You don't see any sort of ripples or waves, wakes, anything like that moving in another direction. If anything, you actually believe that if not for your natural perceptiveness, the kind of action on the water would have been almost imperceptible to most, especially with the way the fog really makes it difficult to see. So, you're just kind of curious
would
for
look
sure.
to the group and just we might be sharing this vessel with someone. Stay alert.
Well, we still have time to leave if we have to, but I don't know what everyone else's thoughts are. That this would be kind of an ideal hideout, at least for tonight.
We can either clear the hold or we can guard the door and hope nothing charges us. Don't everybody tell me all at once.
So, I would
Mallow
say
doesn't-
Pluzak would probably tell you, I think we all are tired. I would try maybe barring the door or doing watch cycles. But sleep is going to be good for us right now. And I think the opposite kind of opinion would come probably from Nass, where out of Mala's voice or out of Mala's mouth, I would say she would spit something to the effect of,
Here. Good girls.
I think you should just sleep it off. Hurry up, get to the next morning, and leave. The shorter we're here, the less you have to worry about stuff like that. And the sooner we get to our goal, the better for everybody. Sleep it off and move on. And as she says that, she starts like wandering Mala's body off towards the beds that are in here. Just like jumps on it.
I'll take the first watch then.
I'm not doing any watches. I haven't had any literal actual sleep for... I actually don't know how long it's been, but I want to try again.
Then get out of his body and let him do a turn.
Fuck you.
You wish you could.
suddenly turns over in the bed, looks at you, blinks a couple times, and just, huh? I guess technically I do. I was not a lesbian before. Does it make me a lesbian now if he's a male changeling pretending to be a woman? Sits up and just starts like
Mallow just goes, "How
thinking
do you
about
know
it.
I was originally male?"
I can sense it. I'm in the same body as you. It feels the same to me as it does to you, buddy. Now I understand why men like looking at tits so much. Those are nice. Your armor really accentuates your curves in a way that I never would have thought I'd compliment another woman on. Usually I just tell them how cheap and hoary their dresses look.
Oh, I could do that too, but then you would never have a. You'd never be able to sleep again.
Oh yeah, speaking of, just like slams her head into the pillow.
Bitch.
Doing that, she
Cut.
just like pillow jokes herself.
All right. So Nass is headed to bed. Mallow, sorry, but no alchemy for you tonight. Not unless you can convince Nass to let you somehow.
Or she
Um,
could help. I mean, she is a wizard. She might know something.
Yeah, but again, it's really more about convincing her part at this point. I mean, none of you really know her alignment, but I feel like it's kind of obvious to some
Yeah,
extent.
She's aligned with a bitch, so.
But
Which
you
means
know.
that Mallow might get along with her.
Mallow is just gonna be singing "I'm Still Standing."
This is great. You guys just like slowly watch as over the course of the next hour, Nass just goes from laying on the bed with a smile on her face, just like covering her hands with her ears with her hands, to taking the second pillow and like putting it over her head, to like kicking her feet against the bed and like pure anger.
Not gonna fucking help, cause I'm inside your head.
You know, it was probably a really good choice to give Mallow the possession. The only one who's actually able to psychologically torture someone possessing him.
Here, hold on. We'll get the exact one for it. Give me a second.
That's wonderful. So, anyway, moving on from him, is there anything anyone else would like to try and do, or are we just settling down for the long rest? Leif, I mean, you mentioned you're going to do boat repair.
It's just that.
So if you want to
I'll
give
stay
me...
up with Leif until he's
Oh,
good.
It's not on
so he's
disadvantage
not
on this
by
one, so the
himself.
21 is definitely what we'll take. Yeah, so Kara comes wandering up at about the same time that you take and start hacking away at the seat of this boat with your greatsword. Fortuna, of course, in your hands is protesting greatly, claiming this is not what I'm designed for. I'm not this sort of tool. What the fuck are you doing? But the fact that her blade cuts through the seat in basically a single cut on each side without too much issue
Come here.
makes you feel otherwise. But regardless, you take it, you start sizing it up on the other hole, and it's about that time that Kara kind of walks over. So, Kara, if your intention is to assist him on this next roll, then for the roll to fix the other boat, give me another sleight of hand or survival check, and you can do so at advantage if Kara's helping you.
I don't have proficiency of sleight of hand, but I do have advantage on it.
It's probably from one of your runes. I'm
Yeah,
still
it
gonna
is.
say it's Leif's intention to fix the boat, but the fact that you have advantage on it and are helping him, the DC will be lowered a little bit more.
It
for
was
him,
more
but-
along the lines of I wanted to make sure that if I am assisting, it's not in the traditional help action sense because I don't
I think if
I
anything-
can actually do that.
No, you can. It's fine. You can always do a help action. The best way to do it is to help the character who is proficient with something.
All right,
as far
well,
as it
yeah,
works.
I'm helping. Yeah.
But yeah, so he has advantage, and because you are in general very dexterous as well, his DC will be a little easier. He's got a lot of really good help right now. So why don't you do another roll for me, Leif? Same one, sleight of hand or survival, your call.
Oh,
you
sorry,
already
I
did
did
it.
it.
Yeah, just
I
noticed
did
on
it.
the other screen I have.
Just
So,
clicked.
yeah, 23 is phenomenal. Especially with Kara's help, you find it, much
Doesn't
easier if
pass.
someone is, holding things in place for you. You get very proper cutting, and you're like holding Fortuna with two hands, one on the blade, one on the handle, and just like sliding her ever so gently and like crafting this piece of wood along the edges, to fit perfectly in the hole. You make it oversized just a little bit, and then you ask Kara if she can help, clear the ice. And Kara, you just take Rhoda's axe off your back and, give a grin, flip it around backwards, and use the more blunt end to just smash the ever living fuck out of this ice. Make the hole basically perfectly sized to the wood, and Leif just takes and starts beating the ever living shit out of the piece that he made into position. And basically, between the two of you, you believe that not only have you kind of patched this boat, but you think that you form fit this piece well enough that even if it does leak, it's going to be so minimal that it might even just be a functional boat now, for the most part. So,
That's
very well done.
amazing.
Hell yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. And they
I
rolled,
kinda-
they rolled well
I
enough.
kinda-
I can't really slight him for 2 over 20s, So,
Yeah, those would have been my just regular rolls too.
Leif knows his boats. Bro
Yeah,
was
I'm
working
just
on them
like-
long enough. He had to be, one of those swabbies, is that what they're called? He's working on the deck and like bailing out
Dockland.
water and basically learned how to patch holes just because he got so fucking tired of being around them.
Oh yeah.
So,
And one boat's gonna be big enough for all of us.
Well,
I would say
the
at a
reality of
minimum
it
it
is-
would be big enough for like 3 of you, maybe 4. And Kara can fly anyway, so she's not as much of a worry. But yeah, even if you have to take 2 trips, it's going to be enough that you can get everybody without too much issue. It will survive the travel. So I would tell you though that if you did not have someone who was proficient in boats, it probably would have been a roll to navigate between here and the shore. But because I know you can do it, as long as it is Leif doing it, it's probably not going to be an issue.
Captain Leaf.
Perks of backgrounds, man. If you have
Oh,
the
yeah.
skills, I'm not going to slate you on it. You get what you got.
Well, that's done. I guess I go to Kara and say it should be like, how are the captain's quarters?
They actually look pretty good compared to the rest of the ship, and it's amusing to watch Mallow yell at himself and prevent Nass from sleeping.
Lovely. Well, thank you for your help with
You
this.
still hear that song in the background going on.
Mel just screaming at it, or she's screaming it at this point because she just can't get it out of her head. She's hoping to drown you out.
It's like when you're asleep.
And the problem is, as soon as she starts doing that, Mallow knows he's won, and he just starts saying in her head, "Now I'm both inside and outside."
The problem is if she actually does kill him, now it's investment on her.
Yeah, you all find the next morning Mallow's drowned corpse. The spirit's nowhere nearby. She's just given up at this point. She's like, "Fuck it, I'm going back."
I want to. I want to pull out. No, before Kara leaves. No, come back here.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Get over here.
I'm gonna pull out. Like I assume I just have a smoked fish at all times. I'm just gonna. And I'm
As
just
long
gonna
as you have
continue.
rations, that's fine. But make sure that you're taking them down every time you mention it.
Chill.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night.
You
There
too,
you go.
Cal.
Just be like, you need any fish? Can I interest you in some fish?
I will always take a fish from you.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps something, and I pull out like a flask, and I just perhaps something to keep you warm.
Pulls out a bottle of the Yeti repellent. I got you covered.
Wonderful.
Read as vodka.
I would take a drink of it and then offer you drinks of it. Yeah.
So, vodka and fish. We go down.
Yeah, that's all. I was just trying to have some fish and drinks with Kara up here all alone on this boat. Yeah.
Just like heavy breathing, fishing.
At some point, I imagine Leif is just like, "It's kind of cold out here. You want to share a cloak?"
You trying to get a little warmer than that bottle's gonna let us?
You do realize I remember you slept with our enemy after she tried to take part of me into her, right?
But I didn't sleep with the whale.
Huh.
Ponder that as I just shimmy away.
The pondering is, Kara's like, "Is Leif backed up? Is that what's happening? The whale got him going? I'm really..."
So is woman more important than fish, or
Kara's just like left in the cold, wondering for the next 10 minutes. Doesn't even realize Leif is gone.
Huh.
Just keeps drinking heavier than before.
Hell yeah.
Comes in smelling like cheap Smirnoff, and then just
And
lies down on the
fish.
table.
Yeah, she
Fish
makes it back
flavored
into the room and
Smirnoff.
just falls onto the table like, oh, this is at least a nice soft bed.
Using the wings as a comforter.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I guess we'll do it this way. Do you guys want to do the long rest now? Get stuff out of the way and then probably still call it there, so you're not, just exploring too much. Or do you want to save it for next session? What do you think?
So we are absolutely certain that there is no one else in the boat as of right now, or
That's why I said we should take watches and make sure that we aren't overwhelmed.
Wait, we're
is
taking
there a way to
watches?
maybe bar the door that's here?
You can always try and come up with something. You would not
What,
necessarily see like any sort of a bar or a deadbolt necessarily.
Well, I mean, like maybe we could move that table, something like that.
Flip the table so its flat edge is up against the door, and we put Pluzak in front of the table.
Yeah, I mean that works for me.
Which, yeah, does the door swing it in?
Pluzak and Mace, probably.
Yeah, I can sit like with my back to it.
That's actually a very good question, Rick. Did the door swing in this way, or did it swing out?
I think on map it looks like it swings out, but I'll say it swings in. I don't mind you guys, trying to bar the door.
It's all that if we bar the door and it opens the other way, and someone just reaches in and pulls somebody, it would be fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, it definitely would. I was contemplating playing it by the ship, but to the same extent, if you guys are worried and want to bar the door, I think I'll just let you.
Then I say we do that. So we move this cabinet here in front of the door, and we seat Pluzak in front of it.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Is it the cabinet or the like the little like I guess?
I'm assuming
desk?
this here.
Oh yeah, that works. Okay.
I'm still standing. Yeah.
So you just want to
Oi.
do the table and
Here.
Pluzak as the goal? I'll
Here.
do a little.
I mean, if we could secure
Sit.
the door by other means, if there's a
Here.
handle on it, maybe.
I mean, you could always go just try
Good
and find some
girls.
scrap wood to like nail into place or something. I mean, you could be
Think- I
creative.
don't-
It's your call.
I
It's
know
just-
I don't have the nails to do that, and it's not something in my equipment I could do that with.
Gotcha. Just saying. It doesn't really matter to me what your choice is. Just figured I'd triple check before I start drawing stuff. Pluzak will move up out of the way for now while you guys figure it out.
I mean, does anybody else have anything in their equipment we can bar the door with? I mean, I could wedge a pickaxe there, I guess, and so it blocks the handle from being pulled forward.
Don't you have like spears and pikes?
No,
Or
I
spears
don't.
and- You have a trident.
I do have the trident, but that's a +2 weapon. I don't want to use that to bar a door. What else is in my bag?
I thought you guys had, like, javelins or something.
I
I
gave
have
them all to the
javelins.
I gave them to the townspeople when we were
Ah,
last in
right,
East Haven
that's
because
right.
they needed stuff.
And
But,
Kara
I mean,
can also just generally
I do
throw
have
stuff.
stuff.
if she
Like
needs,
I have
so.
2 javelins left, and I have.
Can we just go get a ballista off of one of these ballistas? Like a big arrow? Use that?
Yeah,
I have
probably.
scale mail. I have. Well, I still have all those like torture tools that I got all way back when.
Use those and put them into the joints and hinges so that they can't actually actuate the door.
I mean that should work. Like there must be some like barbed crop or something.
Let's say
He
that.
used the
would work.
tongue spreaders to
Yeah.
open up into the gap and just keep them in
The
place
leg
there.
spreaders, you mean?
Get
Exactly.
the tongue looseners.
You can cut that.
We did it for so long without having to worry.
We'll fix that in post.
Yeah, that's right. So, I guess at this point I'll just ask which idea you settling on. What's the goal here?
I think go get one of the ballistas.
We get a ballista bolt and we
I would
guess
say
do
much
both.
like the other ship, anything that's on the surface level is going to be kind of heavily frozen down. So short of using like a fire spell of some sort to melt it away, the ice is going to be holding it in place. And, or any other idea to melt it that I can't think of. But if you
I
want,
mean,
if you want a good, easy to grab one, you'd probably have to go below
Oh,
deck.
I got an idea.
Hmm.
You still have that chain on you, right?
Yeah.
Chain the door handle, or maybe any loop on the door, and just pike it into the wood. Done.
Yeah, that actually works.
An unglorified deadbolt.
Okay. So we're looping it through. Yeah, we'll say it's a ring on the door. Or
Loop it through the loop it through the ring,
yeah,
and
just-
once it's tied up there, like chain it to the wall here.
Okay. So what are we gonna pin it to the wall with? I'm not being I'm not trying to make you guys over specific. I'm just trying to get the image.
I've got a spare short sword I could do that with, or I could use a pickaxe.
That'd be fine. Either would be
I have a
okay.
pickaxe too. Yeah.
Yeah, I have daggers and hand
Dagger
axes.
would probably work. A little less into the wall, but still would probably be fine.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Which one do you want to use?
I feel like a dagger would fit through the chain link better than a short sword would. So dagger or pickaxe. Those are my two options.
I have two. We can use both of them.
Two what? Daggers? Two pickaxes?
Yeah. 2 daggers.
Let's
Okay.
do that.
All right. So Leif is sacrificing his two daggers. So just remove those from your inventory for now, just as a way of marking that they are currently not on anybody. I will do a little bit of a. So basically have like little links over here. Hold the door closed with just a dagger. You trying to use two daggers, basically? You said.
Yes. I feel like 2 spots on it's better than 1.
Okay. I'll just do like a little more, couple more chains, and just. Okay, represent 2 little daggers on the wall. So a little bit of a chain holding the door closed, and it's stabbed into the wall. All right. So with that, I guess. Do you guys feel confident in that? Do you still want to do watches? Do you just want to go to bed? What's the deal?
I mean, I'd say still do watches, but that's because I'm always paranoid.
Anyone
Yeah,
else?
watches are fine.
So at least you and Leif are willing to take one each. Anyone else?
I think the options now revolve around Mace and Pluzak because Mallow is indisposed.
Correct.
take watches.
Yeah,
Still here
Pluzak
on
would
that
offer. I
song.
guess that's fine. Nass is already trying to sleep still, even though Mallow is annoying the fuck out of her. She's not going to help with that. Okay. So, I guess in order, Pluzak would offer to go last, considering he likes to try and make snacks in the morning when available. We'll see what he can scrummage up.
I went first.
Okay, Kara's going to go first. So I just need, is it Leif Mace or Mace Leif?
It doesn't matter. I can go after Kara.
Okay, Mace already rolled, so you're going to go third.
Oh.
Sorry, Leif. Looks like they
No,
beat
you're
you
good.
to the
I
punch.
didn't even see.
Yeah, he just did it now. So you roll the next one, and then I'll have Pluzak roll a final one.
Is it normal or disadvantage or just normal?
This would be normal. You are inside in a place that's the fog is not really affecting you, so it's fine. Okay, so
I'll be seeing.
Kara, you're on first watch. Essentially, your watch goes without issue. You kind of are being extra careful to pay attention to the door and the chain, but it doesn't move, doesn't make a noise, no problems. You eventually walk over and kind of wave at Mace, and he wakes up out of sleep mode, and you can wander off and sleep wherever you want.
And at this point, I will specify my armor has been removed for the benefit of rest.
Okay, probably smart. Mace,
And I'm
you
gonna
as well
take
have.
some of those blankets we stole from the other ship and use those to sleep.
Good idea. Very good idea. You would notice Pluzak as well has a couple, like 2 of them, pulled out of his bag, and like one of them is draped over him from behind, covering the mushrooms, and the other one's like draped over his front to cover him. Um, so Mace, you're up. On your watch, it's kind of the same as Kara's. You're being extra evident, or to watch the chain in the door, since you know that is the only way
Right.
that anything could come. So you're just kind of sitting there, chance in hand, ready if anything occurs. But it seems really not to be an issue. Eventually, you walk over to Leif, wake him up after about 2 hours on watch or so, and Leif, it is your turn to watch. Um, just like the others, I mean, all of you rolled really well. You're very smart about just watching the door, watching the chain. Not really too much going on. And you're starting to actually nod off a little, kind of like an hour and a half into your watch. It's boring. There's really nothing happening until you hear a scraping noise. It's definitely on the other side of the door. It was tiny though, and you don't know if it was just the start of a storm starting to assail the ship or something. Um, so what do you want to do?
Is it
This
escaping
is
at the
this
door?
is Leif's turn, by the way. You woke him
Okay.
up, and he's on watch for this. So until he tries to alert any others, it would just be him.
Mace doesn't sleep, right?
He's in low power
Not
mode
quite.
though. He has
You
to be
can
kind
you
of
can technically
inactive.
have a conversation with me
Yeah.
if you wanted. Yeah. So yeah.
So he's kind of like sitting with his back against a wall or something, just not moving, but he is available.
I think I would just like I would get close to the door to try and hear if I heard more scraping.
Okay. How close is close?
Probably like
Like ear against the door, just standing in front of it?
I would probably go ear against the door. Yeah. Leif would do that.
Okay.
He'd kind of creep up to it and try and put his ear on it.
All right. So you put your ear up against the door, and as you kind of sit there for a moment or two, you definitely hear something on the other side, and then ever so gently, you feel as if the door kind of pushes against you. It's not a lot, but you would hazard it's almost as if someone maybe was trying to see if it would open.
I would wake Mace up because he was the one that. Yeah, he was the one right before me. Yeah, I'd wake Mace up. I'd be like, hey, Mace, there's
Yeah.
there's something out there.
You mean here?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem big. I don't know what you guys saw when y'all came over here before, but it's definitely has pressed on the door, and you can hear it out there.
Right. Let's see. Is there? How did it? Was it too heavy? I mean, I think we can probably just wait for it here, right? I don't know.
It's true. Okay. I'd just be like, all right, well, I'll wake everybody up if anything happens. But I guess if Mace, if you're actually sitting like right there by the door, I'd probably try and like move you off to the side, so you're not
Yeah,
the first.
no, that makes sense.
Your first thing that if it does come in, you're not just asleep or low power mode and just about to get
Yeah.
fucked by it. And then I'd probably just be sitting here, kind of pacing, staring at the door.
Yep. Okay. So the rest of your watch hour technically finishes out without another incident. It would be Pluzak's turn, but of course it is your choice how you want to handle that. I will warn you, if you go much beyond your 2 hours of watch time without resting again, though, you kind of risk missing out on your long rest. But it doesn't mean you can't at least let him know what happened or whatever.
So if I don't long rest, do I get exhaustion? How does that-
Yes, but it wouldn't happen until
The next day?
It wouldn't happen
without
until
a
a 24-hour period from the end of your long rest, which would be 6 a.m. of the next day. You guys started this long rest at about 6 p.m. the night before that. So you'll be waking up at about 2 a.m. the next day. So there would be a window of about 4 hours or so where you would not have to worry about that. But eventually, once 6 a.m. hits, you would have a stack of exhaustion, I believe, until you long rest. And you would not be able to long rest until at least 6 p.m. That night.
Well, I'll wake Pluzak up and just inform him of everything that I heard and felt. And
So you think there is something out there?
yes, but I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's gonna make it through the door. We can at least wait until morning.
Okay. I will be vigilant. So let's do
And
this.
probably don't go outside until everyone's up.
I think I might. Oh, I shouldn't have had it that way. That's fine. Oh, I also did that wrong, but that's okay. So Pluzak, he starts his watch. Mace, you were moved away from the door. Where would you have put yourself once you were asked to move? By the way.
I suppose I would be next to it at least, so that even if something did manage to breach, I'd be able to respond instantly.
No worries. All right. So with that, I would say it's probably another just a couple minutes, 15, 20. So Leif, you'd probably still be awake. I'll warn you now, Leif. It's not something we've really talked about much before because most of your rests didn't have to deal with this issue. But if you remember a minute ago, Chris said that he took his armor off to sleep. If you sleep in your armor, you basically don't get the benefits of the long rest. So as it currently exists, it's about 20 minutes past the end of your watch. Would you have removed your armor and gone straight to sleep, or would you have been worried and waited? What's the consensus there? You would have had to at some point take it off to go back to sleep. It's how long would you have waited after having that happen?
I probably would have waited. You said 20 minutes.
It's been about 20 minutes at this point. I'm
Yeah,
not going to say how much longer until something
Yeah,
happens.
no,
I'm more just trying to figure out: are you sleeping at this point? Are you
I'd be
still
sleeping.
up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be sleeping. I probably would have stayed up for 10 or 15 minutes. And then...
So about an hour into Pluzak's watch is when something will happen next. It's just a matter of, like I said, I was trying to figure it out. So he's kind of sitting at this point a little closer to the door. With the roll that he got, it's going to take a bit, but he does hear something eventually. Let's see. Who do I think? So I guess he would know Mace the way that you kind of function. He would wave at you and then point to the side of his head as if, I hear something, and then kind of slowly approach the door a little, as if listening for more. Do you want to do anything?
So he's only listening, he's not trying to get past it?
Yeah, he waved at you to catch your attention, but he seems to be being quiet as if, he's trying to still hear. But he definitely, signaled you he hears something, and he's moved closer to the door to try and hear more.
I'd like to listen as well, if I can.
So just give me a perception check.
Yep.
Fantastic. So with a 17, you most certainly hear another set of scraping. However, it's a little louder this time, enough so, you didn't hear it the first time, it was Leif, but it is enough so that you certainly hear something. In fact, it sounds a little bit like more than one something is approaching the door.
Oh, okay. Is there maybe any crack through which I can see, like...
I'll leave that up to you. Do you think with how you and the party were setting up in order to have this door
Probably not.
You
So in that case, I think that... Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a Oh, well, I mean, I have Tinker's tools, right? And that should have like knives and such things. Like small, like little blades at least.
Um,
Or even I'm just essentially I'm trying to use some small tool to try and you know, carve a small hole.
um, okay, I guess. Yeah, I guess choose whatever tool you think would be best for that, and we'll see if it's an improvised weapon or not, and you'd be doing damage to a structure. So I think that's just is what it
Let's
is.
try the no, actually, you know what? If 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 um if there's multiple things out there, uh, how long has it been now?
You are actually almost done with the long rest. It is about an hour until Pluzak's watch is done, and he will start waking you guys up and saying the morning is here.
Then I'm just going to, uh, seeing as I technically sleep less than the rest,
hmm
uh, would I be fully long rested at this point or no?
I'm going to say no, just by nature of mechanically, I feel like I want to keep everyone on the same page. I will say at this point, if you get up and start being active, you are not going to be penalized like someone who would need to sleep a full night would. You have slept enough, quote unquote.
Right.
So
Yes,
you can
okay.
at this
So what
point
you're
join
saying is I'm
Pluzak
not
and
gonna be
help him.
penalized, but I
Right.
don't
You
have
are
my
done with
benefits
your
of long
rest.
rest.
The long rest is still not over for another hour. So you
Right,
wouldn't have
gotcha.
any of your spell slots back, but if you start doing stuff now, you still get your benefits of a long rest.
Okay. Yeah, so in that case, I'm just going to move over back to where the door is locked and try to, well, check if everything is still in order, and then I'm going to warn Bluesack and tell him uh, if there's multiple things here and this is what it looks like, it may or may not be another pirate ship, which possibly means either pirate skeletons or zombies or ghosts. Well, it wouldn't be ghosts 'cause I think they would have gone through the wall already.
Okay. So while you're talking, I'm going to give you the choice because chance starts to vibrate and tells you, "Watch out!" You can choose at this point a dexterity saving throw or a strength saving throw.
Saving throw. Okay. I'll try a strength save.
Go for it. Okay. So with chance's warning, you are of course not surprised. As soon as some pressure basically starts to apply itself quite heavily to this door, the chain definitely does its job in the sense that the door starts to open slightly, and then the chain pulls taut as much as it was just barely loose, and holds the door closed for the first second. However, you can tell this thing was kind of expecting that it was not going to open naturally, as it is immediately throwing what you assume to be a lot of weight into the door. After the first hit on the door, you see the chain rattle and the daggers that are holding it kind of start to shake. They don't give way, but you decide, okay, I'm going to try and reinforce this thing, and you shove your shoulder into this side of the door. However, the second hit that comes shortly after is enough to push you not only away from the door, but also lets you see that the daggers are indeed starting to come loose. You would believe that another maybe 2 to 3 times of a slam like that, and the chain or the daggers will likely give way. So you now have, at this point, I'm going to require you and Pluzak to roll initiative. And you guys will have several turns to decide how you want to either start waking people up or just deal with this problem. But the monsters will also have initiative, of course, and they can start, or enemies, I maybe is a better way to put it. It can start trying to
Curse tank
open
initiative.
this up. So you... Damn, that's not even curse tank initiative. That's just curse your shitty rolls. You rolled a 2 and a 3, my dude.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the advantage.
Yeah, that's why I
Forgetting
looked,
that
because
happens.
it rolls both automatically, so you just rolled
Yeah.
shitty.
Yeah. Oh well.
So let me roll one for Pluzak as well. You are this one. Your dex is the same as his, I think. Is a 0? Or
Yep.
what's your actual dex number? 11 by
My
chance or
dex
10?
number is 10, so 0.
Same as him. Do me a favor and just roll a d20 real quick.
Okay.
This is our tiebreaker. Okay, so Pluzak will go before you. So Pluzak gets a... alright, I guess I'll just call you that. Alright, so, I will do it this way to start that up that. So at this point, they definitely move faster than you guys, so they're going to get another attempt at the door. I will roll a strength check, though. They have to roll high enough in order to even attempt to slam it, which they actually failed this turn. So the door gets hit, but it doesn't seem to be enough to move the daggers or strain the chain too much. So that's definitely a perk for you. Pluzak then goes up before you, and he's going to look to you for guidance since Fred's not here to decide. And just, what do you want to do, Mace?
So the the whatever's pushing out there, did it feel like it was just pushing against the door? It was just like trying to.
You would, especially since you tried to contest it in strength, you would feel that it was essentially throwing itself into the door, and it had a lot of mass, enough that it was able to overcome yours. Not necessarily that it was easy per se. You definitely prevented it from being able to move the daggers out, but you got thrown away. I mean, this thing is no slouch. It's clearly got at least an equal amount of mass to you, or potentially more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In that case, if I wake everyone up now, that just kind of hinders them, right?
The way I'm going to be doing it is when people wake up, they will roll initiative at that point, and basically they are then in the turn order. So Pluzak is at a 4, you're at a 3, so assuming everyone rolls better than you guys, it would go to the top of the turn order after you, Mace, and then wherever they fall in the list. So if
Well, I
they're at a
meant more
19,
so
then
in
they're next up.
regards of
If not,
their
it's...
rests.
Oh, they would
Rest.
not have their abilities back yet, but it still falls under the typical rules of, because we are in combat, however long this takes, even if it takes 20 rounds, is only 2 minutes, right? So it's not like it's actually
Right.
going to
Okay.
ruin your long rests. None of them would have any spells back yet or anything, though. That will happen after the end of this this hour. I know that that's just kind of cheap for, fight purposes, but mechanically it's kind of the black and white
Yeah,
of
no,
it. So.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
But yeah, that's just where you're at for the moment. But yeah, so Pluzak is looking at you, kind of confused, or confused is the wrong term, but hoping you can guide him, tell him what you're looking for.
Naked and afraid. Just.
Yeah, well, he's actually, I do have something I could do with him, I guess, but it's more a matter of he's just making sure that there's not something you want first.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to not so much scream out, but like, call out and say, we've got incoming. And then what I'm going to do is try to secure the daggers that are already on the ground and
In the wall or whatever, yeah. Okay.
oh yeah, on the wall, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say for this turn you have to choose one. You can do a action to call out loud enough to wake everyone up, or you can go try and secure the daggers, just to try and keep some action economy going.
Sure, yeah. I'll call out.
Okay, awesome. So by calling out as a full action, everyone else in the room, you will be able to awaken, and you can roll yourselves initiative. Mallow, we will still need your normal initiative roll because it uses your dex. But
I crit
ultimately,
my initiative. Great.
that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Now every
But
roll.
it is indicative for you that you're not going to be getting much crits in the fight, right? So
Yeah. More or less.
Leif's at an 18. Good rolls
Can
from
you
you guys at
remove
least,
the
though.
mallow that you put down?
I can. I should be able to. I cannot. I'm on the wrong layer. There you go. So, and then just give me an initiative roll, Mallow.
And we got
Put
time
open
to
my other
throw our
gauge.
armor on.
You do not, good sir. It takes, especially for plate armor, takes about 10 minutes to put on. You and Kara both would have that problem. It takes a while, and you would only have 6 seconds in a turn. So you will not have your armor for this fight.
Okay.
Just a heads up. Yeah, that's the hard part of long rests.
Well,
if you get caught on
I'm
there.
going
It's
to
1d2 for Mallow.
drink
Beautiful.
my potion of cold resistance to compensate for the fact that I don't have it from my armor right now.
That's fine. I will tell you before you do that. Save it for a minute, just because I don't think I'm going to let you guys do this fight full up right now. We're probably going to go through one more turn at most, but I'm going to wait for Pluzak to get back for the next one so he can help you guys a little more. I will also tell you, as long as you remain in this room, even if the door gets opened, you won't have to worry about the cold from the environment. If you take cold damage, that's a different thing, but yeah, unless you are to like actually go outside and spend an extended period of time out on the deck, don't worry about the cold stuff for the current moment.
Why should it be Auril just coming looking for rent?
Yeah, if only. Bam, bam, bam! New tenants! New rent's due on the 1st of the month, assholes! Bam, 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 bam! No, but okay, so I am going to at least give you all one turn to start getting into action, though. Since Mace has called out and woken you all, we will go to the top of the turn order, unless there's any bonus actions or movement you would like to do, Mace.
No, I'll stick here.
Okay. So, Kara, you would be up. We'll go through one more round of the turn order, and then I might call it there, depending. We'll see. Just lets you guys start getting...
Minus the armor, because I can't put on chainmail that
Correct.
fast.
You would be able to use your shield, but not your heavy armor. Yeah.
Though you'd think I could just like throw chainmail on like a skirt and just run with it, but get my weapons ready and just I guess take a battle position here.
Okay.
So here's my question: because I'm not wearing the armor, does that mean I don't have the abilities the armor grants?
It's a good question. Let me look at your sheet for a
You
second.
could take some time to figure that one out because we have 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but
let me...
I essentially lose the telekinesis and the ability to fly if I'm not wearing the armor.
So I think I might give you the flight was the one I was kind of up in the air about, because I feel like that's more of a natural ability that you've just kind of been coming back into terms with through kind of your reconnection to your original self, right? So I think I'll give you the flight. I think the
Because if the armor just unlocked the abilities, then I have all of my abilities. But if the armor did more than that, I lose it with the armor. You get what I'm saying?
I do, which is why I'm definitely agreeing, and I kind of want to make a choice on it now so you can start planning for next session. So
you got time to think about it. We can come back to that decision later. But essentially, I have shield, spear ready to go, and I'm waiting here.
Okay, so I'm going to say, I think I'm going to do it this way. I might change my mind before next session, but just making the call now so you at least have a frame of reference to start planning. Physique of the Valkyrie and Chooser of the Fallen, I think, are inherent abilities that Kara would have as a Valkyrie. We're going to say always at the ready and the cold resistance are granted to you by the armor.
Okay.
And I might even change that so that always at the ready is actually available to you. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of in the air. I might just make it the cold resistance is the only thing that the armor truly relies on. I don't know. I got to think on that for a little bit. But at least those two that I've said will be available.
Just wanted to clarify before things started happening.
No, absolutely. And I do agree that it's a very interesting question. It's definitely the right question to be asking right now. So yeah. Regardless of that, though, anything else this turn you want to try and do? I will even, if you want, just to, since you're not really sure, you can kind of just do a, open held action, quote-unquote, which is more of a, come in at the start of next session with a held action. Like, you can claim it at the start of next session. I'll be a
I
little
mean,
more free.
I'm assuming that we're going to go through a full turn order of we
Yeah,
have the room secure
what I'm doing
beforehand.
is I want to see if they can. They have essentially one more check to break down the door. I just want to know if they do it before next session or if we have to go through that next session. So I'm just kind of
I mean,
curious.
and if that's the case, I want to assist in making sure the door doesn't break.
Awesome, totally fine. So move yourself closer. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
I
35,
will
40.
to
You
help with
cannot.
this. I will giant smite.
I don't know if you can make it that far. You were in the chair here, right? 25, 40 is here.
Then
You can get in position to try and brace it next turn, of course, but I don't think you
I
can.
hop the table. Can I go and cut it so it's a straight line
5
somehow?
I don't think it makes much of a difference.
Okay.
Unless maybe.
No, it's
No.
45 either way. So I'll move back one step.
Hmm.
Oh no, you know what? We haven't rested yet.
Correct.
Action surge.
That would definitely. Well, action surge wouldn't give you more movement.
If I dash,
If you dash
and
with
an
the
action
action and
surge.
then action surge another action, you would. Yes, correct. Okay.
so I get to there and I will giant smite to size up and have advantage on strength checks
Absolutely.
because we haven't finished the
Um,
long rest, which means I should be getting them back shortly.
Yeah, I will just. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. Okay. Bonus action, giant smite, dash. Okay.
And my
do
regular action
this-
is to hold the door.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Do this. Roll me a strength check. Strength. Yeah, strength check will be if you're bracing. Yeah.
Can I use
Maybe-
athletics?
No, it's just straight strength. You guys are basically going to be setting a DC to add to the door's DC, and they will have to overcome both if they want to
Then
try
I
and
will
shove
roll
it.
that with advantage.
15. Okay, so 15 is pretty damn good. All right, so we'll move on from you to Mallow. Mallow is definitely awake at this point. It is, Nass is just kind of rubbing her eyes. Basically says, "Hey, what's going on? You guys are getting hurt?"
Not yet, but momentarily.
Oh, okay. Tell me if you're getting hurt. And if, yeah, I'll worry about it then. Just like rolls over.
Bitch, get out of bed.
Yeah, you got it. But that's her for now. Leif, it is you.
Hell yeah. I got 30. We'll just pop into here.
Mhm.
I think that was right. Yeah. And then we'll smack one of these guys up here.
Okay.
Just ready for whatever comes
All
through
right.
the door.
So he's just going to stand at the ready. I like that. Okay. So, let's see what happens here. Okay. So, the two of them that are there. Okay. So, Kara, you would feel a pretty heavy shove against the door again. However, the first that occurs is not enough to overcome your bracing. However, the second one that shoves against the door is enough to push you off. But much like Mace the last time that occurred, it's not enough to move both you and the daggers. So you would believe that as long as you're able to kind of maintain that sort of a presence on the door, weight on the door, you could potentially keep them from making things any worse currently. And as it currently stands, the door will remain closed for this turn. Pluzak would be up. I think I'm just going to skip his turn at this point and ask Mace, is there anything you want to do this turn? And then we will call it there, and I think we'll start it up here on, next session where you guys are still just bracing this door and going to have to figure out what to do.
Okay, I'd like to just hold an action, really.
Okay, so you don't want to brace the door or anything, just going to hold the action?
No, I
Okay.
think it's an inevitability for the door to give in. So,
All right.
yeah, I'm gonna hold an action to. So I don't know if I can specify it this much, but I'd like to hold an action to attack any hostile creature that is and that if that creature is within melee range, attack it with my regular
No,
melee
I'm going to
attack.
make you choose one or the other, but you can have it prepared for whenever you see one
Okay.
or whatever.
Then I'll just hold an action to melee attack.
Okay. Melee. So, for definition, anything that moves close enough to be hit, anything that attacks a teammate, anything that attacks you.
Anything,
What's the key here?
Let's go with anything that is not currently inside the room.
So you're going to hold an attack action on the first something that enters the room that is not currently in the room.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So on first thing to enter the room that isn't currently. I'm sure I'll still remember from when I watch it through again, but let's make a note too just to have the frame of reference. Okay, cool. Awesome. So that is where we are going to end ourselves for this week. You guys are under the harrowing situation of there is literally someone a-knocking on your door. So, look at that. Good luck that the mass murderer doesn't come in and eat your faces or whatever.
I'm gonna guess it's like either a bunch of like undead, because if it was more than one thing, it has to be like some zombies or something. I don't know.
It's something aquatic.
I think it's an octopus.
Well, I think zombies don't
Coming
care
for
about water.
revenge for its friends
Yeah, I
that you
think
fed to the
I
whale.
think the octopus is mad at Mace, and that's why it came
It's an
here.
octopus god
Oh,
here
yeah?
to seek vengeance.
Yeah, it's got like hand axes and all its tentacles.
That
And
would be
that
kind of
was the
amazing,
scrape.
not gonna lie. Low key, might be new Mysterium boss in the works now.
God.
Yeah, I swear to God, if there's an octopus boss in Mysterium, I'm leaving.
Leaving? You're trying to sleep with it. We know you.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
That's why I have to leave, because I'll try and fuck it. I'm gonna go steal Mace's torture tools and go fucking get crazy on this octopus.
Uh-oh. Now it's dangerous. Yeah. I will tell you, I think I would have probably let the fight go out a little longer tonight, but I want Bluzak back for
Oh yeah.
for the
Oh
fight.
yeah, no, that works
Especially
out
with two of you out of your armor. It's definitely going to be... It's not that it's... I don't think it's designed as a difficult fight up front, but with that handicap, it will be a little bit harder. So we'll see how it goes.
For sure.
I mean, it's not a handicap for me. If I die and then get full res.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, Mace doesn't have the issue because he has like symbiotic armor and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's really not as much of like a critical thing for the party. It's just it'll be a little bit harder than otherwise would have. So
too.
it'll
I'll be
I can technically abuse the
necromancing
mechanic
back here.
of. I can technically abuse the mechanic of exhaustion because you just kill me and all of a sudden one cure of wounds and I'm back up to full everything.
I have to start calling Kara the Cheese Master.
Jeez. All right, I gotta go do dog stuff.
Absolutely, man.
So
Thanks for chilling.
if we're good here. If not, then we're fine. I just
No, it's okay. You can leave, but everyone else is going to stay in RP and get some extra experience.
I'll be back. I gotta go see what's going on. with
Speaking
Kale
of, though, I
early.
do feel like you guys deserve some XP for tonight. Let me see something here. Do I still have that window open? I do. Okay. Okay, yeah, so if it's about that. Yeah, you know what? All of you, let's do 200 experience for
Yay.
tonight. I think that's probably pretty fair.
Huzzah!
You go to Pluzak, get him experienced up. It's not a ton, but every little bit counts, as Kara most certainly knows.
just tell him nothing.
I
Next session.
specify you out because of the number of times that I've put you at like 3 XP away from a fucking level.
I will be back.
Absolutely.
There have
Alright,
been
bud.
many a
I
time
won't
where
be here
I've
when you're
missed a
back.
level because
Alright,
we had
love
to
you,
hold
bud.
it for a
Alright, bye.
session
Love
and
you
I'm down by
Bye.
1.
Yep. Yes, sir. It has been planned.
All right, boys. I'll talk at you.
Yep. Have a
Yeah,
good
you
night.
guys have a good night.